All right, guys, welcome back to the All Games podcast. We're back. All right, guys, what's up, guys? We got Nick.
What's going on, guys? Good evening, good evening. Yeah, man.
From Brooklyn himself. You know, I really wish I had like a New York accent.
Well,
I will start with that. I would kill for one of those. You know, I just have a basic New Jersey accent. I'm just that guy with that accent. I want to be maybe like a Spanish accent or a New York accent, just something with a little pizzazz. You know, this is me though.
I can't believe you're talking about accents right now.
It just came to mind.
You know, sometimes, I don't even know if I even have an accent. Like, but people tell me, oh, you're from, like, where are you from? I'm like, Jersey. Oh, you from Jersey? I'm like, shut the fuck up with that
I don't know anyone
Jersey
like
shit.
That,
I don't know anyone who talks like that. I do know people that say, like, they'll use, like, butter as, like, butter or, like, or, what is it, wada. I know people that do that, but I don't know no one that says Jersey. Please don't. I don't recommend anyone saying that.
Tell the audience about who you are, what you're about in this life, in this crazy life. Because I brought you on because I know you, like me, you speak on real shit. You're not afraid to speak your mind, which is what this channel is all about. It's all about being direct. It's just saying the things that we want to say. You know, talking about the world as it is and not how we'd like it to be. You know, just going on some real games, some deep games, some real stuff. So.
Well, first off, thank you both for having me here. I appreciate it. Very, very honored to be here. And I don't know, where do you want to start? I mean, I'm originally from Brooklyn. 38. I'm out here the last 20 plus years. I'm married. Just got married in September.
Nice,
congratulations. My lovely life. Thank you. And I mean, it's been fun, man. Honestly, it's crazy, you know, because it's you know, you're talking about accents. You open up the the show with the accents and stuff like that. It's kind of a gift and a curse, you know, because when I first moved here, you know, a lot of people were like, "Oh, you're from out of state," and you know, this and that, and you know, obviously when you go back in time, you know, this is going back now, you know, late '90s, you know, started in middle school and it was all right, and I always got picked on, and you know, it was always with a kid that that talks funny, you know, and I was always in the principal's office because every time I went to go stick up for myself, you know, it was always on. Seeing me looks like throwing the first swing or saying something. So I was always in the principal's office in middle school.
Oh man!
Like they was always like, "Oh no, Nick, you gotta go."
You used to be like a troublemaker.
No, I really wasn't a troublemaker. It was there was a situation back in the day. Well, I'm sure you guys would probably remember cooking class. Remember cooking class back in the day? You were able to kind of cook in school
blowing
and stuff
up. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So. There was a kid in class, and he was like, "Hey, you know, just talking or whatever." He was joking. I was in the middle of putting on the apron and whatnot, and he decided to yoke me with the back of the apron.
That's something you see in a movie.
That actually did happen, and we were in the back of the class, and we were making. The teacher wanted us, I think, to make. I think it was French toast or scrambled eggs. So each kid had its time, like on the stove, and
I'd love to make that
my
shit.
time was on the stove, and the thing was sitting there with the heat on, and I went to literally go grab the frying pan to go smack the kid. And the teacher was like, "No, no," and far from it, just to put it out there, like anybody who knows me, who's been, that knows me a long time, I don't have any anger issues. I don't nothing like that. Someone yoked me, and that wasn't cool in my book, man. Because to me, you try to yoke somebody, you're looking to cause harm. And my parents always told me, and just always growing up, if someone hits you, man, just don't ever start the fight. But if someone did something, make sure you always stood up for yourself. So that's what I did, not knowing I was really.
I'm kind of conflicted. I think, like half of them, I don't think people should get bullied, but then the other half of me thinks that, you know what, maybe it's kind of like self-development is getting bullied, because then, I mean, either you take it, either you get bullied and then you stand up for yourself one day and you learn a proper lesson, or you get bullied to the point where you're literally just so insecure you hate yourself, and then you just end up a loser in life. So, I guess bullying depends on like how much mental toughness you have.
But it also, I feel like it also matters on the severity of how much you're being bullied and with the extent that these bullies are willing to go. If they go a little too far, then that's not fucking good. If they're just teasing you, pushing you around, calling you names, shit like that, that at least that's baseline to me is good. It's a necessary evil. But like when you start every day, you're shoving a kid in the toilet, swirling them and shit, and giving them black and blues everywhere, then that's where I start to draw a line, because I feel like it's especially if the kid doesn't do anything about it, then I feel like there's going to be an issue. I feel like if there's too much violence or too much if the severity of the bullying it becomes too high, I feel like it won't help anybody. But if it's like a teasing, name calling to where it's easier for that person to stand up for themselves and to be able to take the fight back and like get actual good development out of it, I feel like that's fine. But
it really
anything severe, I feel like is not okay.
I can understand that. I get that.
Like bullying is really not good, but I mean, I feel like in the least amount, it's a necessary evil, especially for growing kids that need this type of system, because the world is pretty much you're pretty much bullied every day.
The world bullies me. My bank account literally bullies me. I look at it and it looks at me and it frightens me. I look at it. I look at the balance every day. I'm just like, oh my god! And there's like my heart strikes like with like fear. Like my bank account actually is a bully to me. So I know what you mean, because every day I wake up, I was like, oh my god, am I gonna be bankrupt today? Like, am I going to lose it all? Like I don't know why. I just have this like paranoia. I don't know, maybe because I think the whole system is out to get me. We'll get into that in a little bit. But there's always something going on where I feel like, I mean, life is not easy. Life will bully you if you let it bully you.
Life will fuck you up if you allow it.
You have to.
That's how I feel. I mean, I know everyone has a different outtake on it, or a different, way of looking at it. But to go back to saying what you were saying about bullies, is that today, nowadays and age, I mean, it sucks because it follows you everywhere. I mean, you have your phone, you have the computer. Like someone's always on a device. So someone's on something, which. It's a double-edged sword, because it's great because we never had it before the way that we have it now. And obviously over a period of time, it's gotten more and more and more, and it's gotten better, which is great technology-wise. But in the same token, people who normally would get bullied that would be at school and they leave, or they get on the bus or get off the bus, then it stops. Now it doesn't fucking stop. It doesn't stop.
Oh, yeah.
Because everyone's on their phone. It's either, through text message, whether it's, social media or anything like that. And if you try and do something, or you look to try and better yourself, sometimes it becomes worse. But the person who's legitimately trying to better themselves, outside of it, from the people who are making fun or continue to don't stop, that's the fucked up. That's the sad part of it. Because you have someone who's really trying and pushing back against the wave. Yeah. Of all the shit, and sometimes it doesn't, I'm sorry to say, it doesn't happen, and they off doing something, or they try to take their life or something, which is a shame, because a life is a life. No one should take their life. I mean, but other people, I understand, get put in that situation, or maybe they're that predicament, and no one should really ever be that. Ever should ever get pushed to that predicament, because everyone needs help. We all need help in some way. But I just, nowadays of age, to go back to answering your question, it doesn't stop now because of technology, which is a shame.
You think technology influences like suicides and stuff more?
I think it makes it okay. So I think it kind of breaks down to a few things, because let's say if you have someone who's in school now, right? They try to better themselves. They get bullied. They stick up for themselves, and normally they get bullied more, give or take. Or normally when someone decides to say, well, today's the day, fuck this, I'm not doing this, they fight back, and normally it stops. Mm-hmm. So you have that aspect of it. That's one. And if it stops there, there's always, again, there's technology. I think the flip side of it is also because of social media, I think a lot of people try and size themselves up to other people within their peers or past that. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say, I'm just saying, if we were all 17, right, and we were in school and we were like, oh, well, Jimmy got a BMW. He has his dad's BMW. He's going out on the weekend. Like, it's like, oh, well, I don't have a BMW. But your circumstances are different than Jimmy, who you go to school with, who has the nicer car. Let's say. It doesn't necessarily mean maybe a BMW. Maybe it's a, I don't know, Trans Am or something.
Or a rental or something.
Or a rental. So, like, I think a lot of teenagers or a lot of young people always try to size themselves up to people who are in a better position, which is not a bad thing to an extent. But if you're fighting not depression, but I mean fighting with bullies and technology and stuff like that, all as in one, I think it doesn't really help. I think it kind of adds more weight to it when it shouldn't, I think.
Yeah, I think technology is the greatest fight we're fighting because it's winning. We can't stay off our phones like 2 seconds. Like, we live in that generation. I mean, when I'm at a job and I'll be in a break room and I'll be eating my food because I eat healthy. I cook my own food, so everyone should be doing that too. Not eating garbage at the workplace.
I'm going to keep quiet on that one, so don't.
Gotcha. We got to... yeah. So, yeah, that is wrong.
Stop being scared.
When I'm, like, in the break room, I'll just be chilling. I'm looking around. Maybe I'm daydreaming. I'm looking at the wall. I look around me and everybody else is, like, they're on their phones. They're not even talking. Like, we have replaced communication with the internet. Like, I mean, the internet is a form of communication, but it's not the way. It's different because we're social creatures meant to look each other in the eye, have conversations, talk about things. But now we're just, like, more silent. We're on our phone. We're scrolling through Instagram, Facebook. Like, sometimes I'll, not to be too, like, snoopy or anything, but I'll look down and just look at what people swipe, and usually they're just on Instagram or Facebook. I was like, man, at least go on Tinder or something. Let me see some action. But no, most of the time they're just on freaking Instagram scrolling through memes and stuff. I was like, damn. And, there's a bunch of people around. You can make good conversation and make a friend and have good conversation about life and educate yourself. But no, just dumb TikTok videos. Fucking being dumb, like, for 30 minutes. So, I don't know. Technology seems to be changing the whole games, like, the way we think. And it's going to be interesting to see how evolution's going to react to this. Because, like, thousands of years from now, how are we going to be? Are we just going to be mindless drones, which we already are now? Because if you're in the middle of the road, people will be on their phone walking in the middle of the street. It's like on Facebook. So it's like...
Yeah, nobody pays attention.
I saw an old lady. I was driving past an old lady because she was driving real slow. I go look, and she's got her phone on the steering wheel, and she's like doing this. I'm like, bruh, you're literally like 5 seconds away from a car accident right now. I'm getting the fuck away from you. Jesus. Oh my God. I was like, why is this bitch going so slow? And then I see that she's like trying to kill herself right now while on her phone. I'm like, oh my God, it's just awful. And that's what a lot of people do. Like there's clearly a law in New Jersey that like you can't be on your phone whilst driving. But people just don't care about laws like that because they're too addicted to their phone. And so just imagine in other states where where it's like either not a law or it's not like as enforced, it must be so much worse than this state here. Like it's probably so much worse. There's probably so many dead people from it. So many accidents, so many injuries, life-changing events, just because people are not smart because they can't put their phone down for fucking 2 seconds while they're driving.
It's scary, man. I mean, sometimes, I mean, listen, like you said, I mean, you just see it everywhere. I mean, to an extent, like I'm kind of guilty of it as well. 'Cause then sometimes, you at work or whatever, you're sitting there, you're just hanging out and, you go, the first thing, if you don't see anybody sitting there, or whatever it is that anybody, does for work or whatnot. I mean, you sit there and if there's nobody there, you're just like, oh, well, what else am I supposed to do?
The average person just seems like they're dead, like dead. Like they're just brainless. I don't even know how to describe it. I think something's going on with that. It's very hard to find someone who can hold a conversation. Like that's why you are awesome because I can actually have a conversation. We can actually balance out thoughts and get into some deep game, right? And some real shit. Whereas a lot of people, you can't really talk real shit with them because they just don't get it. I don't know how to really describe it. It's not like, I'm not trying to say anybody's autistic or anything, but it's like you can't really
People can't function without it.
Yeah, they're not really good at expressing words or taking opinions lightly. Like, when you mention certain people or certain situations going on in the world, people just freeze. They just don't know how to answer because they generally they know
Well,
they pay taxes and they die. Like,
Well, it's kind of fucked up in a way
I can't
because
talk to a lot of people because they can't relate. I can't relate to most people.
So okay, so here's the thing, right? So not to like give out anybody's age. So like this as a quick synopsis, right? So how old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay, and
I am 26.
okay, so this a year apart. So let's say, so for me, so it's okay. So from the both years that you've been born and I've been born, if you want to look at it geographically, technology growing up for the three of us, even though there's a few years in between, about like 9, 10 years, give or take, but still growing up for both of you as well, you had technology, but you didn't have a technology. You still went out and go play.
Oh yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to
Still
me,
do.
but right, no, but it's like, I still do.
Yeah. People don't want to know what I do after hours. They ain't ready for that.
Oh no, please don't say that.
But
That doesn't sound good.
but I mean, like, technically, like, you guys are the last like generation.
Yeah.
So like between me and I have a younger sister. So right now, there's about roughly 3 years, a light 3 years between me and my sister, and then in July,
Younger?
I'm older, yeah, and she's younger. And then in July, when it's her birthday, then it's roughly a little like over 2. But like even for her, even though with that 2.5 year difference, and then with you guys, like you guys are technically like the last generation that fucking went outside and played. And that's scary when you really think about it. Because now think about that now, right? Now, because the generation after you guys only know this. Like,
Oh yeah, especially when it came out.
eyes.
so like
Especially when it
you know
came
what
out.
I'm saying? So like now, like, if a kid is screaming or they're doing something they don't want to be bothered, it's like, oh well, yeah, they give them a screen. But why? Like, why are you gonna give you, like, why you're the parent who should know better, and everyone has a right to do what they want. Just putting it out there with their kids. They're married. They have their own kids or whatever. That's fine.
shouldn't.
But like you're making it. You're doing it.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it. So tell your kid to go out. Like, we all played video games. Some of us still play video games. Some of us don't play video games. But
I ain't got time for that.
like, there's a whole fucking world out there. Why? Like,
Yeah.
why are you like?
We gotta
you know
be
what
here
I'm
at the
saying?
All Game Studio. That's what we got.
But it's
People,
so, like,
motherfuckers
Yeah,
don't
like-
understand.
Yeah, like
And-
these kids. The thing is because what the parents are doing now is what the parents did back then, but just in a different way. A lot of the parents, they were like, okay, I don't want to deal with this kid. He's old enough to go outside and play. I'm sending him outside. He's gonna survive. He's gonna survive the next few hours until it's dinner time and he has to come back. Right now,
be.
but now in the modern age, where people say that it's too dangerous for kids to be outside, then they just go, oh, look at this technology. I have a screen right here where I can just have them be entertained and they will not bother me for hours until dinner time. So
A lot of
let me
people should not
let me
be
throw
parents.
them this. And it's think of it I think of it as the same thing, but technology is not helping the productivity and just the overall health of these kids. When we went outside, when we were told to go outside and not to come back until dinner,
Right.
right? That was because the parents were like, all right, he's got to go socialize, he's got to go, do these things.
Mom, dad has to cook or
and we
do
gotta
whatever.
do our things here. And so, but when the kid goes outside, he learns social skills. He is able to think creatively,
Right.
with
Interact.
and interact with the real world pretty much, to an extent, because kids only see things in what they perceive. And they learn life skills and life lessons outside.
Right.
And then they come home when it's dinner time and they talk about it at the dinner table with their parents. They talk about what they did today, and then they find certain life lessons from their parents that when they speak about it and they have the conversation. But nowadays, the parents give them the phone because that is in theory, if you think of it as a math problem, it's similar, right? The phone is the same thing as going outside to the parent, because they don't have to worry about them and they can do whatever they need to do. And the kid is now entertained and is doing specific things, but is losing life lessons, the being able to do things on their own, being able to like learn for themselves. They sit there on a screen looking at they look at either videos, or they're playing around like on games, and like maybe they can learn specific skills through that, but it's not in the same caliber as going outside in the real world and doing real things.
Right. And
a lot of the kids nowadays, like, because of that, they've become addicted to the phone because that's what they remember.
Right.
For normal kids, I would say normal kids, but older kids like us, and even everyone older than us, right? They are easily able to perceive the world and to see things for how they are, and be able to learn how things can be solved, problems can be solved, right. How interactions might go, because they've had specific social interactions with people. They can learn these, what I like to call street skills, where a lot of kids nowadays, they don't learn that, because most of the time, 9 times out of 10, they're not outside at all. Now, I remember when we were in high school. Yeah, when we were still in high school. Now, this is where technology is really kicking in. Like iPhone 4, like the iPhone like 5 is out at this point. Everyone is, everything's slowly starting to come into form on the phone. Vine is about to come out and shit like that. And I feel like that's where it all started. But like, even when that was there, when that was all coming up, and I went outside and I went to a park that I used to go to when I was a kid, and I used to hang out with all my friends. And I went and visited because I live in that neighborhood, so I saw it, so I went to stop. I saw a whole bunch of kids like hanging out like how I did. Right. And it made me so happy. I was like, "Oh my god. Like, this is awesome.
There's still life on Earth."
I was like, this is the next generation of like me and my friends that used to come here. Now they come here almost every day. They hang out here. But then, years go by and I just don't see anybody there anymore. I don't see anybody. Yeah, only like the mothers and like little kids that go on like the park playgrounds and stuff like that.
And the slides and stuff like that. And that's sad though.
It is.
Because again, all because of technology.
Yeah. And like these kids would be like on bikes, and they'd be like how little kids would be, arrogant and trying to have fun. But like that's how they were when I met them, but now I just don't see anybody. It's just a ghost town.
It's crazy.
It's so weird to think, because that was just I feel like that was just before the boom of technology too. So once that boom hit, and like everything started going crazy with like Vine and Snapchat and all these other social media platforms that started really coming out during that time, that's when all the kids were just like, yep, I'm gonna just go right on to those, and I'm not gonna go outside. It's
crazy.
I'm like, well,
technology has captured the minds of the youth, and now we must free them.
Yeah.
How are we gonna do it? I don't know, because a lot of kids are not gonna go out to play anymore. They're just going to sit in their room and be constantly sedated by all this technology, TikTok and Twitter, and and they're just gonna YouTube videos constantly, unlimited time of YouTube videos. Just imagine how much time you spend a day. You can watch YouTube videos of meaningless shit, just pranks, and you just waste your life away. And you go to your job that you hate, that hates you back, that barely pays you money, and then you go home, you eat fucking crap, you eat McDonald's, and then you go on your phone first of the night, like 5 more hours, you go to bed, and then you repeat every single day. It's like you were literally a drone. You were nothing. You were just a fucking guy to pay taxes for the big man, right? The big guy, right? and you die, or you get assassinated, either or. So it's
we don't want that last one. I mean, the other two, I get, but not the last one.
In history, when you piss off the wrong people, they will fucking try to kill you or try to get you imprisoned.
Yeah, like Mr. Jeffrey. Like Mr. Jeffrey. Yeah. Let's not say his last name, but who I'm saying.
YouTube will ban us.
If you know, you know.
Well, I mean, that's a shame.
It's crazy.
And obviously I say that joking around. It's a shame, but
Damn shame, right?
damn shame. But the missus is still alive, so I mean that's surprising. And there's still no list.
Yeah, there's still no fucking.
Still no list.
All this should be going on in the world. Everybody's be going crazy, but there's still no fucking list.
No list. And you know what? Here's the sad part, right? So, I'm sure you guys know, in a particular podcaster famous, he just got done with a lawsuit because of something that he said about Sandy Hook. I don't want to say any names because I don't know if there's going to be
I know who you're talking about.
Mr.
copywriting
Jones,
or
yeah.
anything and stuff like that. So I don't want to,
Mr.
say.
Jones.
I'm kind of retarded.
So,
Mr. Jones.
he just got done paying like what was it, like $90 million or some shit like that.
Yeah.
So here's the funny thing, right? So you have freedom of speech. Whether if people will agree or disagree with you, you have freedom of speech. So if I say, you know what, Andrew, fuck you, I don't like your socks. Freedom of speech. You're not gonna sue me over that.
Yeah,
True.
well,
Right?
that'd be
Or if I could
ridiculous.
turn around and I look at Mike and be like, you know what, Mike, I don't
like mud veins.
I don't like fucking black shirts. Fuck you with that black shirt.
I'm suing you.
You know, like
Well, then they just talk shit at you in the comment section. But
Right,
whatever.
so like, okay, so now you have that. So, but the man has a right to say how he feels.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So, what do they do? So if he really didn't do anything wrong, right? Despite what everyone has their own opinion and with everything that went on and what was said, or maybe what
He
was
was
not
right.
said, but all right, yeah. But
Not
I
about
mean,
that, but-
you have a right to say something. So, and then they drag him in court and he gets sued and then he has to shell out all this money. But here's the catch that I look at it, right? So if you have freedom of speech and he was saying what he wanted, because obviously they just wanted to make an example out of him. Let's just be what it is.
Of course.
So now you have freedom of speech. Now you don't have any freedom of speech because someone didn't like what you said. And now on the second course of it is that if he really didn't say anything wrong, despite whatever side you may be on or whatever, he had to lay out all the money. So to me, in my head, I go, okay, well, there's no freedom of speech now. So if someone didn't like whatever he said because they wanted to, I don't know, bug their ass the wrong way that morning, and now they got to pay a lawsuit. But if there was really nothing wrong of what he said, take out all the terminology, whether if it's left or right, whatever, right? What did he do? So to me, if someone didn't do anything wrong, and then they're saying how they feel, why are you going to have them pay? That only, to me, that shows an insecurity. That's just me, and on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
So, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what?
It's
what
based.
the fuck?
I feel like it's based upon emotion and morality. I feel like the people who went after him for the things that he said, it was because they felt emotion, because they were emotionally tied to the situation, and so they are trying to shell it as like he's immoral for the things he said because these kids, all these kids had died or whatever, and like he's saying this, it's so wrong that he would say this about this. But I'm like, I mean, yeah, but he said, it's not like he did it. It's not like he was the one that did it and then said all these things. If he did it, if he was the one who put into action a lot of the atrocities that happened, then I feel like it's a different story. I feel like then you can be like, put him in jail, hang him, stuff like that, right?
Right.
They're just afraid of the influence that he has. That's all
It's I mean, like, cause like I don't want to be the guy that says this guy was right to do what he did. No, I feel like the whole situation is kind of fucked regardless.
Right.
The whole situation is kind of
It
fucked.
is.
But
I mean, no one should die for no reason,
Yeah,
shamelessly or anything like that.
Yeah. But the whole situation of him having to pay whatever,
That's a
I
little
don't know.
extreme.
It's a little. I mean, especially that much money. I feel like it's a little
Yeah,
extreme.
it's like how much more do you need?
Like, if you really wanted to sue him, I don't think $90 million. Like, I don't know if that really equates. Like,
Or I could be wrong, or whatever the amount was. I just know it was a very large lump sum.
yeah.
almost
I
a
know.
billion.
I know
Yeah,
it was
like
a
it's
lot.
crazy.
I know it was a lot of money, but I feel like it. Like, I feel like it doesn't equate to what like was really put out there, and like, I don't know. I feel like because everyone has freedom of speech, and if you don't like what someone says, just don't fucking listen. Like, if you don't like what we say, then you don't have to listen to us. If you don't like what Joe Rogan says, then you don't listen to him. If you don't like what Jones says, don't listen to him. Like, it's that simple. If you don't like what people say, then either you don't listen or you debate. Right?
Correct.
That's what
adults do.
Yeah, that's what you should
They
be
should
doing.
do, but-
And if you can't do either, then what the hell are you doing?
They just go away.
You're just crying over nothing. You're crying over what someone had said. Like it's so ridiculous.
Well, it's like no one is freaking out about Maxwell, but everybody in the news and their mom and their brothers and this and everybody in elementary school, they're all talking about this one guy. This one man.
Is this the one man that I have a feeling that that we all know?
So there's this one guy in the world right now that everyone,
the most Googled man on the planet.
He has been talked about on the internet lately more than ever after his ban, after he did this, after he did that, after he said some stuff about women, after he said, which by the way, there's a lot of hate towards men on the internet too, but we ain't gonna talk about that, of course not. No. This guy has been in the limelight for crazy amounts of reasons. People can't stop talking about him. He's constantly in the news. People constantly talking about him, TikTok and referencing him and
Content
talking about
creators.
him. Content creators are constantly spitting out content regarding this one guy named Andrew Tate, right? And no one is talking about Ghislaine Maxwell and all the people on Jeffrey's list. The Jeffrey guy.
The
Yeah.
Jeffrey list.
So no one's
The
talking
Jeffrey.
about that. No one's talking about trying to find the people who went to this island of mystery. Mystery Inc.
The fuck kids island.
Yeah.
Yo,
That's
wait,
what I
wait,
heard
wait,
someone
wait.
say.
Wait,
I'm not saying it. I heard
heard-
someone
I'm saying
say
it.
it was on the internet and whatnot. But someone,
I saw something on the
famous podcast. I won't say who again because I don't want no one to get in trouble. You guys to get sued or anything. So I mean,
canceled.
but get canceled.
Find us on Rumble.
Yeah, right. But it's like everyone's talking about Andrew Tate now, but no one's talking about Maxwell and all the kids and all the people who were going to the island and everything. It's like, damn. Well, first of all, let's go into. Do you think Tate is innocent or guilty for the child trafficking thing? Well,
The human trafficking.
I'm sorry. For the human
You
trafficking.
getting Jeffrey in there.
Yeah. I mixed them up. They are not the same.
Not the
they are
same.
not the same.
No, they are
Jeffrey
not.
did not have a brother that is also in prison with him. So, do you think Tate is guilty or innocent for human trafficking and their great back accusations and all these things he's being accused of?
Truthfully and honestly, no, not at all. I truly believe that man. I truly believe that man is innocent. I truly believe they're trying to railroad him. I think they're trying to discredit him and smear him in any fucking way possible. Personally, that's just my personal opinion.
I think he's innocent until proven guilty. I don't know. I'm sure it's the
correct.
same in Romania as the U.S.
Yeah, it is.
But we have to ask. Now, this goes deep into the game, right? Why do so many people want this guy to be guilty? Because I don't, regardless of what happens in the trial or whatever's going on with detaining him, I don't want him to be guilty because I don't want there to be any crime resulting in human trafficking. I don't want that to be happening. Honestly, I don't want it to ever exist. I'm sure it does, but I wouldn't want it to exist in any situation. So I hope he is innocent, of course. And I mean, there's already been a couple women that already came out and it's like, oh, we're not victims. I do like him. Why? Maybe who knows what's going on with that. But a lot of people seem to be wishing that he is guilty. You're wishing that this is true. You're wishing that these accusations are accurate, and he's really doing this to these girls, and he's making all these, doing all these things. Do you want him to? Because I want him to be found innocent, and there to be corruption at least. And at least I would like this to never happen. If it is corruption, sure.
Yeah, because if they would wish that. He was guilty of human trafficking. That means
you want the crime to actually happen.
Yeah, that means that you wanted the human trafficking to happen. That's what pretty much.
I hope he's
saying.
innocent. I absolutely. I think he's innocent too. But I also hope that they're going to find him innocent.
Yeah, because that's what it is.
I don't want no women being held against their will. Man, my problem is I have problem telling women to leave. I'm trying to get rid of girls in my life. I'm not trying to get more in. That's what I'll be trying to say. A lot of guys don't know how to handle girls. That's the big problem, and
that's why human trafficking is a thing.
Yeah, we can go into that. Why is human trafficking even a thing? Because most guys don't got no game with females. They're not fucking, which is why they jerk off to porn all the time to sedate. It goes deep. We can go deep on that, but a lot of guys ain't fucking. A lot of girls think that a lot of guys are fucking, but they're not. A lot of guys are actually lonely.
Yeah, and they use that for business purposes. They use that they try to get these women to do these things, for business things. Granted, this just sounds kind of shitty, but webcam shit, porn, all these other things that that they could be trying to do with all these women or these just humans in general, right? All these human traffickers, they use these people as assets, as things to try to make money, but at the same time, they're weak. They have a weak mindset, and so they want to keep them for themselves, and they want to manipulate. They want to feel like they have power because they don't actually have, the mental power.
Yeah, I want a girl to like if a girl doesn't want to be in my space, I'm like, please, yes, good, please leave, go find some other guy to take you out to dinner, give you flowers, cool. When you want dick, you come see me. If you don't want dick, please leave respectfully. Here's your coat, cool. Here's a chocolate bar. I don't just go away, just get out. Like I don't want to keep a girl who does not want to be. But a lot of guys have a scarcity mentality and they want, oh well, if I can't have her, no one will, and then they'll do some fuck shit. But
well, see, okay, so. All right, so that persona for guys out there, whoever they may be, okay. If I can, I'm the only one who can have you. No one else can have.
A lot of guys have that.
That right there is the color of this damn thing that's on this table. That's a red fucking flag. Okay, for any woman, I don't care whatever may be your thing, and everyone has their thing. And I get that. And that's what makes the world go around and whatnot. But to me, and some women like that. I'm not judging. And like I said, some women like that. Some women don't. But
they love it.
Me personally, like I have a sister.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day,
Me
like
too. Yeah.
I wouldn't want anybody to say, like my sister's married now. She has kids and stuff. But like prior, like. As soon as I would hear like a dude be like, that come across like that, I'd be like, oh, well, that's a nice fucking try, but you ain't gonna go far with that one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But to go back, I mean, it's shit. I lost my train of thought. Oh damn! I was gonna make the point and.
Well, as you're thinking about it, I'll just say that like, because a lot of guys just don't got game with girls, right? They don't know how to understand women and how to talk to them right and how to like it's like this. Okay, so for example, one of the accusations against Tate right now is that it's an old accusation, but it still comes up every time on a Twitter comment. There's always someone bringing it up. There was a video from 2014 or something. I don't know what year it was. It was Tate beating this girl and saying, "Oh yeah, you like that?" Or something. It was something, with the belt.
Right.
And the girl, it was a role playing thing. And then the girl made a video because
that's what you call BDSM out there. If people don't know.
People don't know. But I'm gonna get
Just
into that.
saying.
But a lot of people were like, "Oh," and then he got kicked off the show. Big Brother is in the UK because of that video. Even though the girl came out twice and said, "Listen, guys, Andrew Tate at the time we were dating and we would just role play. We were just having fun. It was all part of it. It's fine." Even though she came out with the video, people were still like, "Oh, Andrew Tate is a woman beater." No, he's not. It's called BDSM, moron. Fucking moron. Like, girls love getting. People don't. I'll say girls like getting choked. They like getting spanked. I mean, not all of them, obviously. I'm not.
A good percentage.
A good percentage, especially the ones who bought 50 Shades of Grey, adding to the millions of copies sold, like being choked, spanked, their ass spanked. They just want it. Yes, daddy, please let me. Like just clawing for your dick, just clawing for it, just trying to. Please love me. Please give me that. Any night, I'll do it. I'll be there. Yes, baby, I got you. Don't worry. And then boom. But they love it. If they're into you. If you don't got no game, if you're an idiot with women, he's like, and then she's not gonna be into that, But it's like that guy at the club that she banged that one night. Oh, they tried it, Get the rope, tie her, get the handcuffs ready, light the cigarette, whatever.
Wow, I don't know about old cigarette, but
you'd be surprised, but anyway, but a lot of guys have never seen that side of girls, like I have. I might have a few times. But what I'm really trying to say is, but what I'm really trying to say is like a lot of guys cannot handle a lot of girls. Well, all right. What I was saying is that a lot of guys don't understand that girls actually like that kind of stuff because they've never seen that side of women. A lot of guys, you know what they get? Hey, I want to see you, but do you think we can go out to eat or something? And the guy's like, yeah, of course, baby. They go get her a steak, and some fries and some desserts and some
Well, I mean,
drinks. $200.
If that's the game now, man, I mean that's way past my thing.
But
I'm
this
just
is
saying, if at the time when I was single, I'm not saying that I'm married now,
No,
but
a
I'm
lot-
just
Well, a lot of guys get the take me out to dinner and we'll see kind of mentality. What I get is, yo, baby, listen, we're gonna meet up at this parking lot later, and I'm gonna fuck you in the back of my seat, and you're gonna love it. Oh my god, yeah, Andrew, fuck, oh, you're so hot, yeah, I can't wait. That's what I get to see. But a lot of guys don't get to see the sexual attraction of girls. They just get the, well, he's kind of cute. I guess he's all right. I'll go out with him. I'll see what happens, whatever. But they're not like, I want him now kind of mentality. Like the guy she banged from the club. So a lot of guys don't know that girls actually like BDSM stuff. That's why 50 Shades is so popular amongst women. A lot of them have read it. Is because a lot of girls like that dominance. They love being, looking up to a man and actually like, trying to get after him and all that. So the people that were coming at Tate for, like, oh, he beats women and stuff. They don't understand that a lot of women like to be beat, not in a harsh way, like I hate you, like get out of my house way, in like an abusive way, in a a little bit harder, like they
in
don't
a fantasy
know.
way.
Yeah, they don't know that a lot of guys like that. So a lot of guys and the girls coming, oh my god, he abuses women. Those women like that stuff, and that was planned, and she's into that, and they still talk to this day, which is why that one woman made like 3 videos defending that man. So that's one of the accusations that I think is because I've seen it. I've seen girls want me to tie them up. They want to be spanked. They actually like that. So I know from experience that girls actually like that stuff, but a lot of guys don't know that. So they come at Tate with that. Well, he's a woman beater, even though he's actually not. It's just role playing. Girls like that. So that's one of the things I think is to be dismissed because obviously, and the girls that have been defending him, they're pretty good looking. So I mean, okay. All right.
Hey, listen, I mean,
I got some hot girls defending me. Hey, shit. I mean,
he said, shit.
all right. They right. So,
right.
you know what I mean? So, it really, so I think some of the things definitely not guilty of because I know it's true. I know because I've seen it. I've dealt with it, Unless there's some stuff behind the scenes that I don't know, which who knows. But, I only know what I know. And that's what I comment on is what I know.
Yeah, because there could be, because we don't know what goes on, in their mansion or whatever in Romania. We don't know what happens, but from what we know and what we've seen and what we've been told as far as from them and from, the other women, like it just, like nothing seems too crazy.
Tate seems a little too smart to be getting caught up in this stuff. I mean, if you're a guy like that, you're going to have a lot of women trying to get at you anyway. So why would you have to hold it against their will?
Yeah.
That just
Correct.
seems like, so if that is true, if he actually is guilty, then he's just dumb. He's an extremely dumb millionaire and should, so if he is guilty, then he's really dumb for being guilty because a guy like that, you don't need to do human. You're successful as fuck. You have all these supercars. You have a squad. You have friends. Why would you need to hold? I mean, so this doesn't really make sense to me. Why?
Yeah.
Unless there is corruption, they're really trying to get him, which is what he's claiming, and his friends who are very loyal to him are also backing him up, saying he would never do that. I've known him for years, so they're good friends. He has good friends. I'll give him that.
I think that's really the big part of it. You got to have a strong team.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean it like as in like a lawyer way. I'm just saying like you have to have a strong, good team around you. Because if you don't have a strong, good team around you, anybody can say something and someone's going to believe it. And then it ends up to be the game of fucking telephone, which sucks.
I just don't know why people want it to be.
It's just a shitty thing. It really is. And to go back to like what you said and like and like what Mike was saying as well, like that he agreed upon, here's a guy who's done very, very well for himself, right? Multi-millionaire. Guy's probably worth, I don't know, a few $100 million. If that, I'm not counting anybody's money. I'm just making the assumption,
More than a few million. I'll say that.
But I mean, the, like the point that you made was that, he's too smart for it. Not that he did anything wrong. I mean, yes, obviously till proven guilty, or innocent. But, normally someone of his stature, someone who has what he has, acquired what he has gotten, and has the business mind, if you watch any of his videos, take all the stuff that some people say, yeah, okay, it sounds like it's crazy or over the top or whatever. He's always said it. Hard work, determination, and discipline. Okay? When you have that and he's a phenomenal chess player.
And kickboxing champion.
Right. So those three things, if you take kickboxing out of it, you have dedication, hard work, and what was the last one? Thank you. Those three things right there can set anybody up if you really put your mind to it for anything. If you feel that tomorrow you want to go run 1,000 fucking miles, you know in your heart you're going to do it, you're going to fucking do it. Doesn't matter what anybody else tells you. 100 million people in this world can say, you know what? Fuck you, Andrew. Fuck you, Mike. You're not going to do it. But if both of you know that in your heart you're going to fucking run 1,000 miles and not break a fucking sweat, you're going to do it if you got those three. A lot of people don't look at it that way. A lot of people don't see it that way. So for a man of his stature, you know, I like the point that you made, like he has all of this. Why would he keep anybody against his will? That's just, you're asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
and
that's
you're
like
just dumb for doing so.
Yeah.
As I said,
Right.
I'm trying to get rid of girls. I'm trying to get them out.
And, like,
I'm trying to get them in.
And like how he has his like mansions, like how he has his setup over there, it's like he doesn't want anyone really around. Like he's got the people he wants. He wants them with him.
and that's
then,
it.
Like he doesn't want any like outside attention really, other than from within where he can control it.
Right.
Like he doesn't need to have any other outside attention coming in, you know, where it's not controllable, because like even because you could say human trafficking can be controllable, but not really if you really think about it. Especially when you have
I think it's
multiple people.
organized.
It's organized, yeah, but but from the outside, it's not really controllable, because these other people, like if you, let's say you have people, you traffic people, and it's against their will. These people that you have their own free will that they could, in theory, try to break out, and then you have issues with that, because then you have to try to clean that up, right? That's a lot of problems that you don't want to deal with, and that could be a lot of money spent doesn't need to be spent. Number one, number two, it's a lot of morality that you don't want to lose within yourself. And like Andrew Tate, he's a guy that talks a lot about like morality and like stuff like that. Like someone who would do things like that, like human traffic, is like someone who human traffics does not have any type of morality for anybody, or just have any sense of that.
Seem right. Something is off. Unless there's some evidence that we don't know about.
Yeah, like I want to see evidence. Like, well, I don't want to see it, but like if they want to prove him guilty, I want to see the evidence. I want to see
anything.
Right.
I want to see it
I haven't seen anything yet.
Because listen, if they have the evidence and he is guilty, okay,
Right.
all right,
got
he's
it.
guilty,
Yep.
cool. But if
We're not
you
cool.
don't have the evidence,
Well,
it's
well,
clearly
yeah,
not
well,
cool.
well.
But if there is no evidence and you're just holding them, then you're shady. You're shady as fuck for holding this guy in for no reason.
Right.
And now I've also seen something, and I mean I'm gonna take this with a grain of salt, and I'm gonna just regurgitate what I heard, and I don't really know if I should believe it in any way, but I heard somewhere where someone said that the Romanian government is trying to keep them safe from the Western matrix, and to try to keep them within their like prison system to not get them,
To get hurt, to get like assassinated or murdered or anything like that.
like that. That's why like the Romanian government is trying to hold them in like their prison and stuff like that, and they're trying to
Deflect whatever's coming.
deflect everything. And I feel like I mean, if that's the case, like that shows a lot of things about the West, but it also it tells me a lot of things about the West. But also, I feel like the Romanian government like literally has nothing to do with any of the things that are happening. But they're the ones that have to hold him, and they have to,
Right.
have to deal with this whole situation that's going on.
It just seems so fishy to me.
It's
something is off.
it's weird. It's weird, and like people if they want to celebrate it, I guess whatever. Do what you
people
want.
love
but,
to hate, man.
But
why
you're
do
not
people
seeing,
love to hate this guy so much?
You're not seeing the forest for. You're seeing the forest You're seeing the forest for the trees. You're not seeing the whole thing.
I want people to tell me what's so bad about this Tate guy. What does he say that really triggers you? First of all, why do you care? If your life is so, if I just have sex with a good-looking female, and I'm laying in bed with her, and I orgasm, and I'm in what's the oxytocin? Yeah, I'm in oxytocin mode. I'm flowing through the waves. The last thing I'm gonna do is be angry and go on Twitter. I hate Andrew Tate. Oh my God, you're such a misogynist. My life is so awesome. I don't have time to hate people. Like when you love your life and you're genuinely a happy person, you're not really gonna be hating people you've never met in real life. I can't be. The same thing with like Trump. I hate him. He's so much. It's like, bro, you don't even. What is Trump?
Who cares?
Why? First of all, why are you still fat? That's the first question. You need to stop that. You need to get healthy. You need to work on yourself. Why are you hating on people you never met in real life?
Right.
Why are you hating on people who are clearly more richer than you?
You have your own mental problems. Why are you going on? Why are you hating on these? Why don't you just try to improve your own life and just start with step one? But like, oh, I hate Andrew Tate. It's like, why? Like, there's this guy on YouTube or TikTok, and he goes to college campuses, and they'll be like, yeah, what do you think about Andrew Tate? And they'll be like,
I think I saw something like with other stuff that he does. Yeah,
he'll be like, oh, what do you think about Andrew Tate? And they'll be like, I hate him. And he'll be like, why? And they'll be like, because he's a misogynist. And then the person will be like, and then the guy interviewing will be like, what's a misogynist? And they'll be like, so they just regurgitate stuff they hear online. People don't even have their own thoughts. So it's pretty interesting to me. Like, people don't even know why they hate this guy. Is it because he's masculine? Do you hate men? You know, men built your house. You know, men built the roads that you drive on. They built your car. A man started with the first cars and everything. You know,
civilization as we know it was started mostly because of us.
It's like, why are you hating on masculinity? Like, because of masculine men trying to protect your ass and try to make a home for you. You have houses, we have roads, we have the beautiful things, monuments that we have. What are you doing?
Well, so
what is about this guy? So
not to throw a curveball, right? So I the first thing that came to me, which was kind of funny, was that like when that happened, when that spruced up into the news, a few days before was I'm trying to think of the lady's name. It was the
little bitch,
the AG of the Virgin Islands, who picked up, or I forgot how it was translated on the news, something that she found out JP Morgan was connected with Epstein, something.
I don't think I heard about that yet.
And they hushed it because she was trying to bring like noise to it and say, hey, you know, I found this out, blah 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 blah, so on and so forth, and all of a sudden, like, you know, Andrew Tate's in Romania getting locked up.
It's
like
all another distraction. It's all
right.
Distraction.
So, but still, like, again, how long has it been? Like, still no list. Everything else is going on, still no list.
Yeah,
I'm waiting.
You know, it affects way too many people.
Yeah,
and around. I truly feel that it's. Listen, there's. There's shit on both sides.
Oh yeah.
Whether you're left, or right, or independent, everyone has their shit. But that man probably had everybody literally around the world somehow, some way in that fucking list, because of nobody or anybody who's gonna want to try the. How? Tell me how. Is the system that fucked up? Like, literally, is the system that fucked up?
I think so.
That, like, I don't. That's the frustrating part. That is the very fucking frustrating part. We were able to put a man on the moon in the 60s, didn't have half of fucking technology that we have now. And we were able to put a fucking man on the moon. We can't find out a fucking list.
Well, it's because it's being hidden on purpose. You know, there's a lot.
100%. I feel like it's because of a certain ex-president and certain runner for president family that is trying to keep a lot of things hidden from, you know, normies like us. And I feel like there's also, I seen something where apparently the Disney Cruise Line actually would take guests to that island.
Oh, that's fucked up, man.
And
that's
like, it would be one of the stops on like the cruises, and it was his island. And who knows what actually happened on those cruises. I mean, because I heard about that, I don't remember where I seen it today, and I don't even remember where the news source was, but it was something where it was pretty much kept hush hush, and someone tried like shoving it out like, hey, this happened, or this is what they did. But it was like these things were happening. I think when when they first started the Disney Cruise Line, which I think was like in the either in the late 90s or the early 2000s or something. And that's the island that was one of the islands that they would go to when it would, where was it, like, was it one of the Virgin Islands or something like that? It was like somewhere down there.
Yeah.
Somewhere down there. and that was one of the islands that they would go to, and like they would have like snorkeling, like the kids would have like specific snorkeling like activities to do over there, but like specifically only kids.
Yeah, that's.
So
I mean,
so
if I was
weird.
now to give you something that's even more fucked up now, like right. So if that is one, Disney should be fucking fried.
Oh my god,
fried, dude.
Yeah,
fried.
They
But
should be shitting their pants.
as a parent, you go on a cruise. Now I'm not a father. I don't have kids. You know, one day yes, but I mean, as a parent, yeah, okay, you're on vacation, you're on a cruise. How the fuck? Someone tell me, please. I mean, I know, and again, everyone thinks differently. Everyone has their own opinion. But how the fuck are you going to leave your kid? It's only a kid thing as a parent with a right mind to do that. Like this in general, even if you didn't know that was the island or anything in general. Like my ass would be right in the fucking water with my kid. Despite no matter what.
Like it's a vacation. I wanna
like I wanna be
family things.
Right, like no, but it's like, oh well no, the kids are gonna be here in the ocean. It's like, no, fuck you. That's my kid. That ain't your kid, that's my kid. I'm putting on the fucking scuba gear and the goggles and the flippy floppies or whatever the fuck you gotta give me. And that's gonna be it.
Can't be me.
Like
it's so weird. And like this was I had seen this recent, like today, and if this is real, Disney must be shitting their pants, because if they knew about it being his island back then, which I mean, probably
someone knew. I bet.
We gotta be. They have to have known, because you got to think about it this way: Disney it was and still is like one of the main highest companies, the biggest companies in the world right now, and was even still back then, because that was during the early 2000s, was like the boom of like the Disney. Well, it was towards the end of the Disney Renaissance with all like those animated movies. At least that's when they were like super big. At least when they got super big when we were kids. You know, like The Lion King and all that stuff. Like that came out like years prior, but when we became kids, that's when it was still going, because they were still getting a lot of success off that, and they were making a lot of money, and they were getting a lot of, you know, fame and notoriety. And so I could see in theory, you know, Jeffrey, you know, inviting, you know, a certain CEO and, you know, to come down on the island,
right?
And, you know, and maybe that's where it was like, maybe I should have a Disney Cruise Line come here on a line, you know, something like that.
That's fucked up.
That
man.
It could be.
Seriously,
I'm not saying that it is.
No, yeah.
I feel like I'm jonesing it up right now. It could be.
Is possible.
I could be, but it's like when you have certain things, when you see certain things like that, you can connect possibilities.
Right.
Like it probably didn't happen. Like you could, in theory, say probability probably didn't happen, but there is that probability where it did, and it could have, but we wouldn't know, because we weren't there. We don't work for Disney. We have never been on the island,
right?
As far as I'm aware, I've never been. And
definitely fuck that, not me.
And so we just don't know if that is the case or not. But if there is evidence, like we were saying earlier, if there's evidence, then you can, you know, then there's something that's gonna have to happen.
You know, it's like I look at, because I randomly think of these things. Like, you know, I look at every single person I've ever interacted with, any customer of any job or any place I've ever been to. Every single person you've ever met, they get horny, right? And I say this to say, what every person does when they get horny, they do certain things. They have certain habits. Everybody is different, yes, and everyone does certain things. Whether you're 18 years old or whether you're 80 years old, people do things when they're horny, and some people are dangerous when they're horny and they're sex deprived. Now this just goes to the basic human level. When I talk about how most guys are not fucking, well, a lot of guys they're not getting pussy, right? What that means is that's like maybe 70, maybe 60, 70, maybe more % guys who are not getting pussy. When they're not getting pussy, what are they doing? When they're not watching porn, what are they doing? These are things that, like, this shit doesn't surprise me, because, like, these people have to do something. If they're not watching porn, they're doing something else. Now, what they do, I mean, the horrors go beyond anything I could think of. But I do know that there is, no matter what, anything you see in the media, there is something going on with some people out there, because there are some sick bastards out there that they literally, they're sick in the head. No girl likes them. No lonely, because we have a lonely man epidemic as well. People don't care about a lot of guys. People don't care. They're lonely, they're horny, and they don't have any other way besides porn to let their shit out. So a lot of people resort to dangerous shit. That's why all this shit is probably true, because it makes sense. There is a certain percentage of the population, whether it be men or women, that are lonely, that can't get sex from the opposite gender, or the same gender, who knows, and they need to have a release somehow. And they're going to find a way. Now, this is kind of a scary thought, because it is true. Like, humans are humans. We have needs. Every single person. Like, most people, people don't even think about these things. You assume most people have no sex drive. Oh, just some old guy buying some tea. No, that guy's a sex drive. Though that woman over there, oh, she's just a sweet little innocent angel, goes to bed at night. No, she has a sex drive too. So all these people do crazy sexual acts that are behind the scenes, no one talks about. So, and that's some of it is probably extremely disgusting, things I would never even say on a podcast. It's just truly horrible, and I believe it. So a lot of these things that are corrupt and things, it makes sense, because a lot of guys, and women too, they're not getting what they want from life, and they need a release, and they're gonna find a way to get that release, whether people know it or not. So it really is interesting of how many things that we don't know about, still don't know about, that are going on behind the scenes that we don't. So that's something to think about. Because every person has a sex drive, and how they're going to release that urge could be completely open, like I am, because I am completely open with my sex life. So I don't give a fuck. Whatever. My booty calls me watching this shit. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I'd be fucking. When I'm not fucking, I'm fucking. Or sometimes I just chill. I like to sleep sometimes. I'll be honest. But a lot of guys are not doing what I do. A lot of guys are not married like you both are, which is crazy. We can get to that. But a lot of guys, or I'm just speaking for men because I am a man, they are just lonely. They're not married, and they ain't fucking hoes. Not calling anybody a hoe. Just just saying. I know they're gonna. I'm gonna get text messages after this. Angel, you think I'm a hoe? Like, stop it. Don't stop it. You're not a hoe. Just kidding. Kind of. Not really. I'm kidding. So what I'm saying, I know they watch my stuff. So what I'm saying is that, like, so they're not married. A lot of guys are not, and a lot of guys are not fucking women. So what are they doing then?
I guess titty bar. I don't know.
No, they're not, because a lot of people are broke too, so they can't go there.
Only the ones that are rich.
Are you saying that's not recession proof anymore?
No, it's not.
Definitely not.
So they either resort to prostitution if they have the money, or they do some shady shit, which is why all these things that we see happening are definitely. It is not a conspiracy theory. It is happening because people get horny and they do things when they're horny. So that's my take on it. It's very sad and it's very scary, but this is reality. Motherfuckers have needs, and they will do horrible things to fulfill those needs. Especially in today's world, where a lot of people are not having sex, and we're not populating. Trust me, most people, you go ask a random guy, when was the last time you had sex? They'll probably be like, oh, maybe a year ago or 2 years. Oh God, I can't even think of that. I need it tonight. I need it tomorrow. And if I ain't gonna get it, that's fine.
You need it like a bill comes to the house.
I'm going to the bar every night.
Like, oh no, my electric bill came. Now I need the fuck. I know. No. My cell phone, man. I need the fuck.
Because if you don't want to have sex with me, I'm gonna go to the ShopRite and approach girls. I'm gonna go to the bar. I'm gonna dance with some chick on the dance floor. I'm gonna go. If I can't get sex, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna go who find, because I am attractive. I think I'm decent. I'm definitely a 6 or 7 out of 10. Some girl is gonna want this dick. And if I allow them, here, you can have, yeah, sure, here's some dick. Dick is a gift. And I'm going to give them that gift. I have no problem with that. But a lot of guys can't do that because they ain't got the confidence and they don't want it. So they ain't ready for that. They ain't ready for this. So, a lot of guys, they can't get their needs fulfilled.
All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, baby.
That's it. And it's cool because every guy has different things that they want to do with their dick. It's fine. If you don't want to use it, cool.
It's all right.
It's your right not to use it. Yeah, if you want to be,
remove it?
You're good. What's the word I'm looking for? Abstinent or celibate? If you want to do that, celibate. Cool. Cool. Good. More for me. Great. Just sit there, watch porn. Pornhub is your friend, and Elena is my friend, and Lisa's my friend too, and Nicole. I'll take them all. You get Pornhub. You get xvideos.com. Cool. You stay there. I'm gonna get the rest. That's fine with me. I don't hate on nobody. You want to be married? Cool. You do that. Have one girl, do a thing, build an empire. I'm going to go with her. Yeah, I'm going to do my thing.
Okay, so all right, so I know, all right, so both of you know each other for a long time. So all right, so and I feel honored being on the podcast, and I thank you. So I guess my question, because I can't ask him because he's married, so now he's taken out of the thing.
And we have no
I'm not gonna, because I'm married. So now this question is for you now, okay? Not to put you in the hot seat.
No, I love being in the hot seat. I live for this shit.
So. Do you feel, not necessarily now, let's say 3 years from now, you're out there, you're doing your thing, you're doing this, doing that, doing this. You say you're not looking for love, but let's say deep down inside you want love.
I love every day, man. Love finds me, man.
Okay. But what happens, because everyone has that one person that to them is their perfect person. So now, let's say 3 years from now, the podcast is huge.
Oh yeah, millionaire.
Well, no. But I mean, like, it's great. You guys got tons and hundreds of views and hundreds of thousands of likes and looks and everything. And now you go out, you're in town, you're doing whatever. People know who you are, right? Like, not super uber duper famous, but you guys are famous because that's what you guys wanted to, like you guys mentioned in the beginning. That you guys wanted to be the most infamous, famous podcast in New Jersey.
That's right.
Okay, so now both of you are plastered on stickers, on walls, and they go, okay, you know what? Andrew, out of all the people that they interviewed and his friend and his best friend who's met, Andrew, what would it? Not necessarily, not as like an exchanging of a business, but what would be your woman? All honesty.
So, like, to be monogamous with?
Correct.
Monogamy. Wow, that's not a thing I've done.
Because everybody has their reign, and then it comes to an end. Everyone does. So I guess
many do.
I guess
unless you're like Hugh Hefner, but
so. I guess the question would be, what would be your, this is my woman.
A lot of people think that, like, I'm destined to be a hoe forever, but no, I think there will be a time where because I want to have kids in a healthy family, and I don't know if it's the best for your, like, my dad would be fucking hoes every night. Like, I don't want my kid saying that. I want my kid to say, my dad and my mom get along great. They have the best marriage. You got to set the example. So I think there will be a day that I'll probably find a girl, settle down, be with one. Why not?
Like, but what would it be your thing though? Like, can you see yourself, like, let's say if you were in the supermarket, just saying you're gonna go no, but I'm being saying. So like now you're in the supermarket, you're getting your healthy food, you're doing your thing, you want to be strong, you got gains and everything, so on and so forth, and this woman comes, not even a chick, a woman.
Woman.
A woman.
A female.
Comes to you.
An adult human female.
Okay. Yeah. And she's, I don't know, she got the workout pants on, she got the track sneakers on, she got the blazer on, or maybe the Under Armour half zip up. Is that your woman? Like, that's the question. Like, or does she have to have the same likes as you, or a lot of likes as you?
You know what's going to happen?
And I'm not doing it to narrow down your time quicker, but I know what you mean. I want to try. I want to get into. I want to,
Well, first of all, I'll say I think a woman who really is into me is going to end up liking the things I like anyway. Because every time I gotta go into me, she starts working out with me, eating healthy, being sexy. She knows I like black coffee. She be making the black coffee, and she knows. I would say the ideal would be just a woman who takes care of herself, mentally healthy. Just I want her to be a good girl in public and a bad girl with me. I think that's what every guy wants, but okay. I like that.
That's fair.
And she has to be in shape. If I'm gonna be monogamous to you, you have to be able to ride me.
So I guess is it someone who's so would it be fair someone who's more athletic and outdoorsy? Would that be fair?
Yeah, athletic.
Okay.
Like, just good energy. Like, I feel like good heart.
I feel like it's where they would want to be that way.
Yeah, but I would never want to force a woman to be that way. I want her to want to be that way with me, and that's the most beautiful thing. Because a lot of guys, here's the problem. Here's some real fucking game. A lot of guys try to control girls. They try to make them morph a girl into who you know, what you got to do is find a girl who naturally wants to do what you want to do and live the way that you want. Like a girl who's on your level, the same energy. If she don't gotta like the Giants and I like the Jets, or vice versa.
Right.
We gotta have different, you know. But she's gotta. But if I'm rooting for the Giants, she's into me so much. If I'm at a bar saying, "Yeah, go Giants," she's gonna look at me. She's gonna see that I like the Giants, and she's gonna say, "Yeah, Giants," just because the man she's feeling is into that. So I want that.
Okay.
I want that shit.
Okay.
If you have a girl who's always trying to compete with you and try to be better than you, that's not something.
No.
I don't like that, because I don't need.
You don't
someone
like
to fight with.
competition?
I'm conquering. I have to fight the universe. I have to fight the YouTube views. I gotta fight my boss trying to mess up my schedule. I gotta deal with that. You know, the last thing I need is my girl giving me shit. It's trying to compete with me. Like I'm gonna, you know, like maybe in a fun, playful way, sure. But I don't need to go like, you know, just trying to, you know, piss me off. And I don't need that. Why do you want to complicate your life?
Because you want to come home to calm. You don't want to come home.
Yeah, I want to come home to just a nice energy. Like, hi Andrew, I miss you so much. It's like, yes. So, you know, a girl who's in shape, takes care of herself, loves herself, and also just, you know, is willing to be on my team. I want a teammate. I don't want a rival in my own house.
Okay.
And also, you know,
No,
to ride me. Ride with me and ride with me.
Oh,
No, so
wow. That's
ride me and ride with me.
That should be
goal.
your DM. That should be your DM tag.
Yeah,
I don't
right?
even know what it is. I'm not all on there.
That's
so
exactly what I want. Right?
I wouldn't know.
Definitely the ideal.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
And, you know, I mean, you know, I've had great relationships in the past, you know, because, you know, a guy who understands women doesn't talk shit about women. He appreciates them for what they are. Men and women are not meant to be the same. We're meant to be different. And that's good, because yin and yang are the perfect match. But when you get yin and yang, it's like, this just doesn't mix well. You got to have the balance. That's what it's all about. And when you try to control a woman and make her do things that she doesn't want to do, you're just messing up the whole thing. You got to be with a girl who naturally has that chemistry with you, and that's what makes it beautiful.
Okay.
You know? A lot of guys always trying to control the woman and make her do things, and you know, it's like, if you're not trying to do what I'm trying to, cool, that's fine. You can go. Same thing like I was saying before. You got to go. You know, I don't need that. I want someone who's on my team, who's trying to be on that level with me. You know
Okay.
what I mean? Which is, I think, is pretty fair.
Yeah, no, it's so I because I couldn't help to, because I know like we were talking and this and that, and I know both of you go, you know, way back. And
But it's funny because he's the married guy, because we know we do the podcast. We are opposites,
right.
Literally, he's married with his wife and he's doing his thing, and it's cool. I don't hate on that. That's cool. I don't care about that. Yeah, do that. Do it every night. Yeah, cool. I'm gonna be single and I'm gonna do my thing, and he don't give a fuck either. Because once again, why do I care about what another man does with his dick? It's not my dick. Whoa, I'm not into that.
I ain't touching that.
I'm not into that. Do what you want with your dick, and I'm definitely gonna do what I want to do with mine. If you want to hate on me, well, keep wasting your time, buddy, because I'm gonna keep smashing, and you're gonna keep complaining. So who wins? The guy who coming. That's the guy who wins.
That should be another hook on the DMs. I
can go all night, but you know what I mean. So it's not up to me to try to dictate what other men should do with their body, you know, as long as it's not illegal or just morally wrong. I would not advocate for that. But just if you want to live the way you are. You know, I don't care if you're married or you're married. Cool. I'm still, you know, I'm having fun. I genuinely like it. It's not for show. It's not to be, look at me, I'm getting all the girls. It's not about that. I just genuinely enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
you're enjoying the ride and the journey. No point intended.
It might not be forever, but hey, you know, just we out here. You know, this could be my last day on earth, and I'm loving it.
So, listen, and that's what you got. You got to be happy. So if you're happy, then that's all that matters.
So all right, I'll go over a question with you.
Shit.
So
okay.
So what made you want to get married?
I
said that so casually.
It's just, well, I knew the person that I was talking with and spending time with was the person.
How'd you know?
For the longest time, you know, like throughout the majority of my boys are all married. I was really like the last one.
I am the last one too. Yeah.
So, you know, for me throughout all the years, like, you know, once one got married and this one, and then like it started, you know, it trickled down and it, you know, so on and so forth. Everyone would say, "Oh, you know, when you find the right one, you know." And I'm like, yeah, all right. Death will come fucking first before that'll ever happen. And I didn't think I was really going to ever get married, to tell you the truth. I didn't think I was going to get married at all. I knew I part of me wanted to get married. There was a part of me that I knew that wanted to get married, but I was ready to kind of just pack it all in and live the John J. Rambo life and just move out onto, like a piece of farmland and just hang out and just do my thing. And I met my wife.
How'd you meet her?
At work.
Okay, we can get into that a little bit later. 'Cause we got a story that we got to cover. But we'll get into
And one thing led to another, and we started off talking and just hanging out, and there was a lot of likes, conversation wise, like music wise or movie wise. Like she's a big movie person. I'm a big movie person.
When you met her at the workforce, how did it go from just talking to like kind of like I'm gonna use the words falling in love? Like how do you go from, is it like a look in the eye kind of thing, or is it like it just develops over time? Because it's very interesting. I do find it extremely interesting how people pair, how they meet, and how the seduction happens, and then how it finally escalates. Because it's really interesting to me.
Okay.
Because Mike can tell you how he met his wife after you, but it's very interesting to me how it goes from this to this. How do you get from point A to point B? So one day you're just talking, and then the next day it's like, like how does that?
Well, I wasn't fighting anything. I will say through I always had my heart out, and I got to a certain point just before I met my wife. I said, you know what, fuck this. I'm done with this. I don't care. I legitimately gave up like just looking, so on and so forth and whatever. And I was like, you know what, I'm single now. I'm really just going to fucking do everything that I really love and I want to enjoy, no matter what it is. It could be, driving out to, North Carolina or whatever, just saying for conversation's sake. Mm. And I said, you know what, now I'm free. I can do exactly what I really want to do. It doesn't matter. And that was it. I didn't bother. I gave up on looking. I didn't care. Some of my friends or one of my best friends who I've known, for 20 plus years was like, why don't we go out? I was like, nah, dude, I'm all right. And this and that. And, it just kind of snowballed. I was at work, started talking. And I forget, for whatever reason, I made my way over to where she was. And some things, transpired. And I was just like, hey, just shooting the shit and talking. And we exchanged numbers.
So,
and
yeah, very just genuine curiosity. So, how did you make the initial move? Were you like, can I have your number? Or we should go out sometime? Or what was the initial thing that started the romance?
Like how it all started?
Yeah, so first you're talking at work, and then one day there had to be some point where things escalated to another. So was it like, can I have your number? We should go out? Or was it casual, like, hey, we should talk a little bit more? How did that go to the next? How did that escalate?
You want to know on it? I won't actually say, but I can say to a certain point.
Yeah, so what you can,
Okay. So it would be, I saw that it looked like she was having a shitty day, actually. And I just nonchalantly went over, and genuinely, I was like, hey, are you all right? You look like you're having a shitty day. And she's like, yeah, I don't really want to talk about it. It's just a shitty day. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. I said, well, I'm sorry that you're having a shitty day. Do you want to, I'll give you my number. If you ever feel like you're having a shitty day, give me a call, and legitimately, because everyone has a shitty day. For me, I'm very, very Old Testament. So if I feel or if I think someone's having a shitty day, I'm always going to go over and say, hey, are you all right? Are you good? You all right? Yeah. I can't help that. I'm hardwired that way. So, it was just something just natural, just honestly like that. And that's how it kind of transpired, and we exchanged numbers. Mm-hmm. And it went from, texting, a little bit. I mean, she wasn't really kind of big on texting. She's old-fashioned.
I'm old-fashioned.
And it was like, well, give me a call. And it was actually kind of calling. And then, obviously, if there was a few things that she had to do when she was home, she would text or we would FaceTime and talk. And from there, it just kind of snowballed. And, I'm a big movie guy. I love movies. I like music. She does. I'm a big car guy. She likes cars. She likes a lot of muscle cars. She likes a lot of old cars. Mm-hmm. So there was a lot of things that were there that kind of just sparked, and it actually kind of really blossomed into something amazing without trying. Because throughout my whole time, I'm saying, okay, like, you know, we're talking and whatever. And I enjoyed every minute of it. So whether it was talking, whether it was FaceTiming, whether it was texting. Again, in the back of my mind, not thinking this was anything. Because in my head, I completely gave up. I was like, all right, you know, it's just going to be another great person that I met along the way. And it just, you know, it snowballed, and it went from like one thing to another and to another. And then we went on a date, and
So did you?
know.
So when you went on like the first actual official date, was it like, hey, we have all these things in common, why don't we get a drink sometime? Or how did it go to that?
Actually, so what turned out from talking, our first date was 3 days long, and actually our first date out of the 3 days,
How does that happen?
was
3 days.
well, okay, so. At the time, my schedule was a little different. I didn't have as many hours as I have now.
Mm-hmm.
So my pattern for the day off, let's say if it was Thursday and Tuesday, was like, let's say, my original day off. So from talking, she had Thursdays off. And then the schedule kind of got moved around. But before it got moved around, I was like, well, hey, listen, like, I have this day off. I have these 2 days off back to back. I said, I can see if they can just switch it, switch it, and then I can call out too and be back to work. Mm-hmm. If that works, like, I can do that. I don't know, like, how your schedule is, or, you know, if you want to do the same thing. So due to the fact that she's been where she's been longer than I have, she was able to take time off where it didn't affect her money wise, let's say.
So you basically you just planned in advance.
Right.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden it was, hey, Metallica is going to be playing.
So your first day was a concert?
A drive-in concert at the Woodbridge Mall.
Shit.
And it was us and...
Can't go wrong with that show.
4 or 5 other people who came. It was originally supposed to be us.
Oh, so it was a group.
It was a group, but
I wouldn't do that. Oh no, it's me and you.
But you got to remember, because since you were asking and stuff like that, so like in the beginning, it wasn't like
it's a lot different, right?
Neither one of us thought it was going. It was turning into what it was, and then after actually those 3 date days ended up to be, you know, like that was like, oh wait, this is what it is.
Was that so the one day you went to the concert? What about the other 2 days? Like, how was that 3 days?
So that one day we were at the concert, and I met a few other people who she was friends with.
Okay.
Who I made the joke now about it, like, afterwards. I guess that was my initial my entering of the group to see how I would, like, maybe interact with everybody, which is fair. And if that's what it was, that was cool, but it wasn't. Mm-hmm. But that's what I would always make the joke out of. And then we hung out. We went back to her place, just hung out, watched movies. We watched literally movies like throughout the whole night, and just fell asleep. Like, literally fell asleep watching movies. Like, nothing nasty, nothing dirty. Like, no one was trying to.
You literally just chilled.
Just chilled.
No kissing, even just nothing. Was just.
Well, I mean, like, there was a little. Yeah, there was kissing. Okay. Like, yeah.
I didn't know if it was like a legit friend thing. That's why I asked. I didn't know if it was like a friend thing. Or, okay, so there was some attraction there then.
Oh, yeah, there was attraction there and stuff like that. But it wasn't anything like, you know, like bang, bang, bang.
No, I know what you mean.
Like, but it was just like legitimate,
sure
like,
hey, buddy, like, I didn't know. Yeah, okay, yeah, I just want to make sure.
And
also clarification.
It was, and it was just chill, and you know, we fell asleep, and then the following day we got up, and I'm trying. What was it? I think we went to the boardwalk. What was it? Oh my God. Sorry, babe. I love you. Give me a second. We went to Windmill in the Belmar area. That's on the corner where it kind of like comes up like to the like kind of like the fork in the road. Mm-hmm. And we hung out and we were there. And we were just having a good time. Like, we just went to go get burgers, fries, just to shoot the shit, talk more, enjoy each other's time. And then after that was. Yeah, it was the boardwalk, and then we ended up going to Asbury.
Okay.
And then we were just walking around on the boardwalk, just playing the games, and just legitimately having fun, taking funny pictures, silly pictures, and...
So these were the 3 days?
Those were the 3 days, yeah.
So back to back to back, just hanging out. And,
yeah, and it was just... And then from there, it was like, you know, I was like, wow. I was like, holy shit, like, this is... When what I was kind of pushing off to the side was true emotion and true feelings, and you can't fight that.
Right.
You know,
it needs to be
can't.
natural. It needs to be organic. Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So like the whole time, like what I was feeling, I was like, all right. Like I just kind of just played it off because I was so much having a good time. In the 3 days, like it wasn't really like in my head. Now looking back at it, I was like, I was fighting something that was natural.
I bet her friends would probably tell her good things too, like, "Oh, you guys look so cute." You know, maybe something. I'm sure they will help.
It was a few. Yeah, it was a few things. It was
People
a few
gotta have
things.
you back. You know, I support the cause. You know?
Okay.
I love, if I could play date maker, I'd make it happen. I'll introduce everybody. I want everybody to fall in love and have sex and have babies and keep the population going. Yeah, let's keep it up.
And then
Hey, Julie's gonna become fucking rich.
And then what was it? That was September. And on her birthday, I decided to propose to her, which was in January.
So how long were you dating before you proposed?
Those few months was what? So we started talking roughly in Marchish. So if you want to go by March, you can start by March. But if you actually want to start when we actually like made it official, it would be September. So it would be September, November, December, January, 4 months. If you want to use it that way.
Okay, and you just knew that, like, you know what, I could see myself with this girl.
Yeah, and she was at like everything that I've always wanted. Like no point in time. Like I'm not saying it like just to say because it's like, oh, it sounds great. Like legitimately,
Yeah, that's just what you want. It's just what you're into.
And it was always like from day one. Like I. So the kind of play like timeline really quick. When I was younger, I always said to myself, I knew I always wanted somebody older than me.
Mm-hmm.
I knew because I already knew my mind frame and my mindset then. And I was like, I know I always want someone who was older because I got along with people at the time who were older than me. So I was like, you know what? That's how I vibed.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, all right, well, I always wanted someone who was older than me. I always liked tattoos. She has tattoos. Music-wise, like a lot of the same or a handful of the core things that I like or that I believe in general. Whether it was family values, whether it was, religion or whatever. And everything in that time, without realizing it, everything ended up to be like my perfect, what I consider perfect, because everyone has a different idea of what perfect is. Like perfect society is, like, oh, you need to have, like DDD and be like, 140 pounds and, and I'm not knocking it. If that's the thing that you like, then, I'm not knocking it, but everyone likes what they like. But when I met my wife, it was amazing. It really was.
Because a lot of guys, they'll ask, how do I know if this girl is great for me? And I'll say, the best girl for you is the one that you can stay faithful to, if you have options. Because a lot of guys, they fantasize about all these things that's the internet, but you want to be with someone that you can really stick to. But unfortunately, there's a lot of guys out there that they lie to themselves, and that's why they cheat. Because they don't even know themselves. They don't know that they're not ready to be in a monogamous relationship with someone like me. I know that I'm not ready at this moment.
But that's a good thing, though, because a lot of people don't. A lot of guys, and it could be on both sides of the aisle. It could be men and female, but you have to be happy. So, like, if you're not ready for someone to hit your bell, and you want to pursue someone, and you want to spend the time, and you want to look to get married, if you truly feel like you're not ready, then don't do it.
Exactly. Well, that's why I know, like, I'm still doing my thing, and when the time comes, it'll come. It's no rush. It's going to happen naturally. It's just like, it's going to happen naturally, organically, and that's perfect. But a lot of guys, they lie to themselves because they're like, oh, I don't have enough time. I got to get married now. Otherwise, my family's not going to love me. They come up with all these excuses.
It's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
So and a lot of other families are different. Some people do get that. They're like, oh, well, you're 31. How come you're not married? It's like, not me, but I'm just saying, like, other people out there.
Yeah. But once again, you got to do what you want to do. If you fuck the peer pressure, everybody, and you really got to settle down, like, I'll settle down when I want. Right now, I'm doing my thing. Don't you worry about me. You worry about you. Worry about your own problems. But everybody has their own timeline and stuff, but a lot of guys, they lie to themselves. They deceive themselves into thinking that they need to get married, because if they don't, this is the only girl that's ever gonna love me, so I gotta put a ring on it now. And they have this scarcity mentality. If I don't wife her up now, I'm never gonna find anyone else. Want to be lonely for the rest of my life? Like, bruh. Because once again, scarcity mindset. So you really got to know the game in order to know yourself. Yourself is the game. You are the game. But a lot of guys don't know that. So they go their whole life trying to impress people and not even understanding what they want. And then they get into that's why a lot of marriages don't work out. Because a lot of guys, they propose to these girls that they're not really into, but they want to put the ring on it just to say it's either for the status. Maybe there's some benefits that come with that. Or they're just in a rush and they don't think things through. That's why a lot of marriages fail. But a lot of marriages succeed when the man knows what he wants. Like, you know what you want, you know what you want, I know what I want. The fact that we know what we want is what makes us successful, because we know ourselves and we know what we can handle, we know what we like, and we know what is going to work. And that's why it's so good. But a lot of guys, and girls out there too, they don't know what they want. They don't know who they are. They don't know the game. They don't know themselves. So they put themselves in a situation that they can't handle, and then they wonder why they're miserable and why they make these dumb decisions, because they don't think about these things.
I think that's a big thing. Like I truly feel that everyone has different experiences. Like as they get older. And I think experience is definitely one of them in certain aspects, because you do have to know. You like you mentioned. I'm getting tongue-tied because I'm trying to find the right words for it. But it is the best way to explain it, is that you have to know who you are. Like, I know when I look myself in the fucking mirror, I know who I'm looking at. For a long time, I used to look in the mirror and not realize the fucking person who's looking back at me.
But people,
for good or even for worse, which was shitty at some times.
But you only know if you work on yourself, if you constantly are trying to improve your mind, which is why we created this channel, because it's all about promoting the mind and making yourself stronger. But you have to go through that journey of self-discovery to know who you are, what you like, what you want in life. But you can't rush that. It has to come with time, practice, consistency. You got to know who you are. You have to know how you want to navigate the world and how you're going to crush the obstacles that get in your way. But you can't do that by the time you're 18 years old. You can't be rushing life like that.
Right.
Especially in the crazy world full of all these crazy things coming at you at once, the technology and the way the world is, and everybody's trying to control you and make you think different thoughts and try to control your mind. You gotta search. You gotta soul search. It's gonna take you time. It's gonna take you money. It's gonna take you some effort. It's gonna take a lot of self-control and discipline and hard work to really discover who you are, what you want, how you're gonna navigate the world. And you can't. It's not gonna happen in 1, 2, 3. Boom. Not a magic trick. Life is hard work, and it's about getting out there and really finding out what you want. And it took you a while, but you made it to a certain spot, and you're happy where you are, and you're going to keep going from here, and you're going to keep going to the next step. But that's what it's all about. You can't rush life. You have to let life vibe with you, and you got to go along with the punches and see what works, what doesn't work. Life is all a big puzzle. You got to figure that shit out. You can't do that in 2 nights. You need time, you need energy, and you need the right mindset to get through these things.
I agree. How about you, Mike?
I everything he says is pretty much spot on. Because listen,
some real shit.
Because you got to think about it this way, right? Him and I, like he said earlier, him and I are opposite.
Right.
I am now married, and he's single. But with that, we have a similar, not only like similar mentality,
right,
but the way of looking at the world. Certain things might be a little skewed here and there, but usually we have like anything that he thinks about or says, I already had the same opinion in my mind. With an independent opinion that is similar.
Okay.
We're not a echo chamber of each other. It is more of, I have my own independent thought, he has his own independent thought. They just so happen to be similar.
Okay.
Or exactly the same. Sometimes I might have I agree, but maybe this too.
Right.
So a good example is, because we actually both believe that there is really no such thing as a soulmate. We don't believe that there really is like a specific one, but our reasons are different. My reason, I feel like, is more of a logical one, where it's more of because how humans are created and how life is created, and the souls are like, someone's soul because if there was a soulmate in reality, if I'm thinking about this logically, my soulmate might be 80 years old in West Guam right now and could be dying, right? And then their soul has to be reborn and then their soulmate is not the same soulmate as me, or there could be multiple soulmates for different people. If you think about it, because there's so many people in this world, there's so many life forms in this world, right? The soul, if the soul is something that, number one, is like a real thing that actually can manifest within living organisms, there is that possibility that if that was true and the soulmate like actually moves on through other living organisms, my soulmate could be a tree.
Okay.
But like that's how I think about it. He thinks about it. I wouldn't say similarly, but like that's just because I like to go complex in my understanding and my reasoning. Because soulmates, how I see them, I feel like there are good ones and then there are bad ones, and you want to find the good one.
Match.
Yeah, you want to find the good one that is compatible and that desires you and you desire them, and you want to find one that complements your life, and that's what I go for. That's what I think about. I don't really think about it as like, because how I think about soulmate is, if I think about it as a soulmate, then I think about one, right? But if you have one, then that's scarcity, and we've been talking about before about scarcity mindsets. If I think about that there might be multiple ones, then there's options, and I don't have to worry about finding the specific one, because that's overwhelming. There's 7 billion people in the world. I think even 8 billion now.
Yeah, I think
right?
So.
Trying to find one out of 8 billion is mind-blowing.
Yeah, no.
But if there are multiple good and bad ones, well, clearly there's a lot of bad ones, but if you could find, the handful of good ones and pick out and cherry pick the one that is actually the one that you're supposed to be with, right? Then it makes things a lot easier. It makes the thinking about it less, not only complicated, but less stressful. And you can do the things that you want to especially do the things you want to do, the things that make you happy, but find someone that's complementary to your life, something that gives you value, and that you can give value back, and you can create a relationship in that way where value is transferred between both parties in a way that's positive. And so I believe, because I even said that in my vows, that I don't believe in soulmates, but I believe that she was the one that was specifically cherry picked from me, that I feel that was, out of anybody, that was going to be the best bet.
Okay.
And I feel that she was the one that is the one that can give the best value, and where I believe that I can give back the same value and even more.
Okay.
To create a relationship that's worth having.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's good. I like that. But you're happy.
Oh, 100%. And what's funny, you want to know something funny? Because we talked about a lot of your stuff, and you don't really know much about mine, is that she chased me.
Okay.
She chased for me.
That's fucking beautiful.
For a long time.
Andrew's over here. He's like, yeah.
And for a long time too, because I was going through what I like to call the big metamorphosis of my life. I was in a rough patch, super rough, mindset wise, everything. I was not in a good place, and I was figuring myself out. I was going through self-discovery, dealing with a lot of shit, trying to get myself in a positive way, trying to get myself into, do a hard reset on like my mindset, hard reset on like the way that I think. And pretty much on that journey, that's when, her and I started talking and everything, and things started happening, but I didn't want to just jump in. I couldn't let myself jump in, because if I did, then I might ruin something, or my mind might not be ready for it yet. And so I need to give it time. I need to make sure that what I'm doing here is exactly the way it needs to be. I need to ensure that this goes right, because she literally would give me the world if she could. She could literally give me the entire universe. That's what she would want to do. And she genuinely desires me, genuinely wants to make sure that I'm happy, and I want to make her happy. Right. But at the same time, I couldn't let myself jump in without making sure that I was
In a good spot.
still in the good spot. Because if I wasn't in a good spot still, then there was the possibility that I would self-destruct the entire thing.
Okay.
And so if I couldn't let that happen, I didn't want that to happen because I don't deserve that, and definitely neither does she.
Right.
So I wanted to make sure that I was in a good spot first. I wanted to make sure that I was in the right mindset because no matter what, regardless of how my mindset was, it was the right decision for me to do that. But if I did it too early,
You as a person.
it wouldn't have worked the same. Nothing would have worked the same way as if I waited. And so I waited 7, I think it was like 7, 8 months, maybe a year.
Okay.
It was like almost a year or a little over. And everything has been
That's amazing though. That's amazing though. See, but you know what though? But not going back to to play ping pong really quick, right? So like we were talking about like just knowing yourself as a person and knowing that, like if you got to take the time and you got to do, but you knew that, you know what I'm saying? Like you there was some stuff going on and you knew that was a great and the best foot forward, but you as a person had to do what you had to do first. Yeah. And I think a lot of people overlook that, whether if you're a dude, whether if you're a chick, so I do. That takes a lot. Seriously, that takes a lot. I'm serious. I'm giving a round of applause for that because a lot of people don't
I give her
do that.
Oh, here we go. I give her a lot of credit too, because like not only do I have like a great I had a great amount of friends that had my back through my terrible time. Right. But even she had no reason. She had no need. Or like she didn't have to like care for anything that I was going through because she's not fully connected to anything that I'm dealing with.
She's just feeling it, man. She's feeling it.
But she pretty much. I feel like I don't want to say it like the way that I wanted to say it, that I was gonna say it, but I'll say it anyway because that's the only words I can really think. But I feel like she was the help that helped me get through like that. Like the climax to help me get through
what you needed to get through.
Yeah, like because I had great friends and like they were doing what they could. But sometimes, like there was like one night like nothing really happened. But I was a drunk mess. I was fucked up, and during that time I was having like night terrors and sleep paralysis and shit, and I was going through some bad shit.
I never sleeps, man.
And
to this day.
Yeah, even to this day I barely sleep, but. Like she was like I was going through like an episode and she was there for it.
Right.
And I felt bad for it, but like she was there to like get me through it. And then ever since that night, all that stuff started slowly going away. And like my mindset and everything was still the same way that I was talking about it before, where I was trying to get through like all these things, and I was pushing to become more positive, but all these things were happening. So I was in an uphill battle, but I felt like that night, because like he was there with me before, but he had gone home earlier. Like I felt like I was getting to the climax right there, and then pretty much that helped me get through to the decline action, whatever, if you know how story works.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty much like I give her a lot of credit for that, but like there's multiple things that had to happen, but I feel like she was one of the main catalysts to get me to for my brain to be like, all right, now that I'm through the thick of it, now let me work and let me get myself back in gear, so then I can do what I have to do.
That's great, man. Seriously, I'm gonna give another round of applause for that. Seriously, because like I said, a lot of people don't. A lot of guys out there and a lot of women don't look at it that way. You know what I'm saying? People just kind of oh yeah, well I got to work on this. I'm a little fucked up right now, or I got a lot of things going on right now. However they themselves may want to categorize it, and they'll say, oh well, you know what? I'm all right. Yeah, I'll just go into a relationship, but not realizing that sometimes, and everybody makes mistakes, and that's part of life. But by doing that, you bring in baggage that no one else should technically deserve, or extra things that should maybe never should have been in the relationship, that could have been blossomed, that could have went somewhere, and it ends up this fucking caving in from the inside because of whatever, and that's the sad part, because before, and I'm not saying you, but others, because we all go through it. I think that's literally a beautiful thing. And if you can look at yourself in the mirror, or say to yourself, and you're in a room by yourself, whether you're with your friends or after your friends leave and it's just you, and you sit there and you go, I really gotta, I gotta do something. I have to make a change, and it. That shows a lot about somebody's character. That's one. Two, it shows a lot about someone's strength, because you could have easily, or anybody could have said, you know what? Well, I know I'm in a hard spot right now. It's fucking tough, but fuck it. I'm just going to continue. Like, that's not the answer. Like, some people do that. They may not be at that point where and the roller coaster goes down and they get out of it, but it takes a lot. It seriously does. And I applaud you. Seriously, dude. Seriously. And, it does. It takes a lot. Not everyone, everyone has a different idea of what hard times are. Hard times are fucking hard times. Nope. You're good. You're good. But out of those hard times, without no pain or suffering or sacrifice, doesn't come, the bright day. So, I mean, but seriously, again, I applaud you. And anybody out there who's in similar situations or whatnot, I applaud you. Seriously, because everyone goes through it, even I. So, I mean, but you're happy, you're at where you have to be, and that's a beautiful thing. And same. And Andrew was doing his thing. He's
my day will come. Who knows? But for now, I just be riding the wave. I got my own journey. We all got our own.
Could be in the supermarket and the girl with the workout pants and the track sneakers with the. It's like with my life, armor zip up.
You never know, man. But it's like with my life, like, I might not. I'm not married. I don't got the white picket fence with the kids and all that. But right now, what I do got is so many crazy, hilarious stories that I can relay and I can relate to. Because I've been through some crazy, there's some crazy girls out there. I've been through some interesting shit. Things that no one even, things that
could even fathom that they would go through.
I've been through things, but the reason. It's good that I know these things, that I've been through these things, because now I could I could speak on a whole different level from experience, not from looking up research on the internet, talking shit. I've actually seen things, and now I can speak on them, and now I can tell you what I've learned, and it makes the podcast and the channel even better, because now I have all these stories, and, it's all experience.
Right.
It taught me everything about, I know so many things about the dynamics between men and women, casual sex, what to look for, what not to look for, dating tactics, how to be within yourself in the game, and how to know yourself a little bit better. Like, everything I've been through has been, it's been a learning experience, and it makes me stronger and better, and then will allow me to vet myself, because a lot of guys will say, how do I know if she's going to be a good woman? How do I vet my girlfriend? I say, well, first, you need to vet yourself. You need to know, can I be with a girl like this? Does she check the boxes? Could this work? You have to know what you want first, just like we've been saying.
Right.
And then you can be like, okay, maybe we can go to the next level. And you got to promote. It's like a promotion at a job. I think, all right, I'm gonna upgrade you from booty call to maybe possibly. You gotta get. That's how I do it, though. But you gotta know yourself first.
Everyone has a great application. That's good. I like that. That was actually.
Everyone deserves a. You gotta. First you start out. Sex first, relationship maybe. Okay, that's the whole thing. Because I gotta know. Am I gonna? You never know.
You gotta test drive the car before you're thinking of leasing it.
Exactly. I don't want no. You gotta know if you're compatible in every way, every single way.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But if you already have the groundwork, you know what I'm saying? It's easier. It's not as hard. And I think that's really a big.
Knowing yourself is everything. Because I'll give you an example. Let's say you like coffee.
Right.
I like coffee.
I like coffee.
You
like coffee?
Nope.
All right. So all right.
Now here's the scenarios. Let's say I ask out a girl, hey, let's hang out on Friday. And she says, okay, how about we go to TGI Fridays? Now, what I could do.
I say that you got your windows tinted.
I'd say that. I'll say that later. Well, that too.
Oh no.
Well,
Oh, no.
well, that comes out. That
Don't
comes
bring
out.
that up.
But what I would
I don't
say-
know. That's something that just came to mind.
Now, let's
so.
say I ask a girl and she says, I
You've
want
been
to go to
watching.
TGI Fridays. Now, I could say, I like coffee, right? Coffee guy.
Right.
TGI Fridays. Coffee, TGI Fridays. And I don't feel like going to get coffee at TGI Fridays. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, no, how about instead of going to TGI Fridays like you suggested, I like coffee. So how about you and me go to Starbucks Friday at 7 p.m. Like, I'll tell you where to go, what time, what to dress. I like my black leggings. That's right. You go, girl. You get it. So I'll tell her the day, the time, what to wear even. I'll tell her everything. So meet me for coffee at Starbucks Friday at 8 p.m. Well, no, I'd rather go to TGI Fridays. Well, then we're done. Right? Take care. I hope you find a guy that likes TGI Fridays. I mean, TGI Fridays is cool, but my first date ideal is we're gonna get coffee if the weather's good. But if the weather's not good. But if it's like summertime, we going to the waterfront. We're gonna see the view. So same scenario. Girl says, hey, well, let's hang out on Friday. I want to get to know you. You're cute. Okay, well, how about let's go to TGI Fridays. Now let's say it was a nice summer day and I want to go to the waterfront and I want to see the view of New York because we live in Jersey. And she says, I don't want to go to the waterfront. I want to go to TGI Fridays. Two options. A man, all right, so the two kinds of guys. There's a male and there's a man. What the male does, he says, you know what, I think, all right, yeah, that's cool. Let's go to TGI Fridays. I'm going to buy you a steak. I'll buy you a burger. We get dessert. Yeah, okay, whatever you want. Yeah, the male tries to impress the girl, thinking that if he does everything that she wants, he's going to get her and she's going to get wet at the end of the night. Wrong. What the man does, the man says, I think that's a great idea. I appreciate you coming with that offer, but how about we do this? Because I'm about this, and this is who I am. What we're going to do Friday is we're going to go to Starbucks at 7 p.m., and we're going to get some coffee instead. And the man has asserted this is who he is. This is what he wants. This is what he's about. The girl can only do two things. She can say, no, I don't like coffee and I don't want to see you because I'm not attracted enough to go to Starbucks with you, which is what you want. So I want to go to the TGI Fridays. And if you don't want to do that, then we're not going to work. So, and then the other option is the woman says, well, I'm not really a Starbucks girl or really I like coffee, but you know what? You're so hot and I'm so attracted to you and I love a man who knows what he wants that, you know what? Yes, I'm going to meet you at Starbucks Friday at 7 p.m. The man has asserted what he wants and the girl respects that man and who he is and that attracts her to him because he's that masculine man that knows what he wants, and she goes along with what he wants, and then they get the coffee, and then maybe the tinted windows come into play later, but you don't know until you know. So that is the difference between what a male who does not know himself and tries to impress the girl is, and then there's the man who knows who he is, what he's about, and what he wants to do with that girl and has the whole plan laid down, and that's the kind of girl. So I'd rather be the man and do the one option, right? So it's really, that's how knowing who you are comes into place when it comes to women. Because if you know who you are and what you want, because what if you don't like TGI Fridays? But the male, even though the male does not like TGI Fridays, he's going to do it anyway because he puts the woman automatically over himself. And that is a man, and he doesn't even like TGI Fridays. He's going only because of her. That's not a man who's doing it. That's not authentic. That's kind of being fake. So I'd rather respect the man who at least, and if the girl's not about the Starbucks, cool, that's fine. Maybe, the correct thing to do is, cool, take my number, let me know if you change your mind, and if she's attracted enough to you, she's going to change her mind and she's gonna hit you up. You know what, I changed my mind, let's go to Starbucks. And if she's not feeling you like that, no thanks, and she's gonna ghost you anyway. So the man who knows what he wants is going to live the better life than the male who tries to impress her and he fails. That is the difference between knowing who you are and then trying to be somebody you're not to impress someone that's not really that attracted to you.
Okay, I can understand that. So I have to ask something just to be a jokester really quick. And I get everything that you said, and I thought it was greatly put together and said, just like Mike did before. What he was explaining everything. Mm-hmm. But what happens if that same girl who said they have coffee there, we can go to Ruby Tuesdays or TGF Fridays, but they have coffee there? Now what?
Well, what I would do is I said, I think that's a great offer. Let's imagine it goes right over. I think that's a great offer, but you know what? I like the Starbucks by me because they have a nice table that I like to go to, and I kind of like to do things my way. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get the coffee, but we're still going to my spot. And I know my spot. It's shit's planned out, and we're doing what I want to do. Because I'll tell you why. A woman who is attracted enough to you and is feeling your vibe and your energy, she's gonna do it regardless. Why? She's not going for the coffee. She's going to spend time with you. And that's what made you and your wife compatible. That's what made him and his wife compatible. She was down to do what you were trying to do. And now you're happily married and you got this shit. So it's all about, if you know who you are, she's going to recognize. Girls are not dumb. This is a critical mistake.
Well, wait, girls or women? Because there is a difference.
I'll just say female for this.
Okay. So, and I wasn't trying to throw a monkey wrench in
know
that.
what you mean.
I just wanted to make sure because
But the thing is, a lot of guys think females are dumb as fuck. They think you don't know when you're only trying to smash. Girls know when you only want to fuck compared to if you want a relationship. They can sense the energy coming from you, and they know when you're bullshitting them. They know when you're inauthentic. They know when you're just trying to get some pussy and not honest about it. If you're just trying to get some pussy, just say straight up, listen, I'm just trying to smash. I'm not looking for no relationship. If you are cool, right, you need to move on. You got to be honest, especially in this era. You got to be totally honest. If you're not, it's going to bite you in the ass later in life. So, it's very important to really stand up for who you are and what you want. So you got to be careful out here. Okay. But a lot of people think girls are dumb. Guys think that the women, that they don't know what they're trying to signal out. What these girls have, ever since they have hit puberty, women have been getting hit on by guys, and they know the game because women are naturally smart when it comes to human dynamics and social cues, and they're extremely intelligent in that, more than men are, because girls are always getting attention. They're always getting text messages. The phone's always getting blown up. The guy, especially if they're attractive, guys are always trying to, hey, how you doing? Hey, and they're always being nice to them. They're always getting offers. They're always getting numbers thrown at them. So girls are not dumb. They've had plenty of experience with guys, and you're just like every other guy that they try to be with. So a lot of guys, girls can sense when you're not honest, and that's when you lose. So if you're a guy who doesn't like TGI Fridays, like my example, and she knows that you don't like TGI Fridays, you're just saying that because you want to impress her and trying to get on her level instead of her trying to get on your level, she's automatically going to lose a certain amount of respect for you in some way. And women know this. They're very smart like that. So they can tell when you're bullshitting. But at least when I stand up for myself, say, no, we're going to Starbucks instead. At least, okay, well, this guy, at least he knows that even if you get rejected, she's still going to respect you. Because you stand on your shit. You own your shit. That's why I've had so much success, because I'll tell the girls, listen, this is what we're going to do. And if you're not cool with that, you got to go, listen, I've gotten plenty of rejections. I've gotten rid of a lot of, which is good. I don't want to waste my time on a girl who's not about if you don't like coffee, damn, girl, you better go on the other island with the guy who likes sparkling water instead. It's not my thing, but I wish you the best of luck. I love getting rid of girls because it saves me time, which is a fire which we all burn. If I can get rid of a girl that's not about me, I want to do it quick as possible. I ain't got time to waste. So, okay. Absolutely. I know what I want. I know who I'm trying to spend time with, I got the boys. They're all on my level. We hit the gym together. Like, you got to know who you're trying to roll with.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, all right. Well, you heard it all, ladies. I just put it out. He likes coffee.
I really am a fan.
He likes coffee a little too much.
Oh, okay.
A little too much.
16 ounces, it's whatever.
Okay, sure, 16 ounces. Times that by 3.
But that's the difference between knowing who you are and not knowing who you are. The male versus the man. And there is a big, just like you were saying, like girl and woman, there's a big difference between male and man. Big difference.
Man. Okay.
And some girls are going to view you as a male because they just ain't attracted to you. And you got to get rid of those motherfuckers. You get out of it. But the girls who view you as a man, that's the ones you got to spend your time with.
The sound, without the soundboard, the little sound effects in here is what gets me. Like, I get the point, and then it's like...
You gotta mix it up.
For a second there, I thought I was watching, like, Star Wars. I was like...
Now, I am my own movie. My life is the movie. I don't need. This is better than Star Wars. You could watch it from behind the closet. From behind the curtains. My life is the greatest movie you'll ever see in your life. I got evidence of it too. I got everything. So you know what? It's beautiful.
He's got the receipts.
There you go.
Skywalker ain't fucking, obviously. Andrew is. Big difference, right? So.
Only Anakin Skywalker's.
Yeah, only Anakin Skywalker. So Luke wasn't even fucking. He was a virgin. Maybe. Leia was fucking Han Solo, and they be doing it. But Luke is on his own island, depressed. Even those movies don't exist, whatever. But, you know how it is. My life is the movie. You got to make your life a movie. Can't do that if you're watching Netflix all day, can you? Jerking off to porn all day. You got to go out in the world and make something of yourself. Create the
very
life
true.
that you envisioned as a kid.
Yes. Yeah. No, I agree. I definitely agree. 100%. Hope the viewers agree out there, which I'm sure they are, because they always watching, they always be viewing and chatting and sending comments.
I get messages like, I get messages sometimes like girls like who I've previously been with and they'll watch my videos like, hey, is that really true about that one? It's like, shit.
Yeah.
Let me just.
It's like it's what you get. It's what you it's part of the game. But it's all in good faith. It's all in good love. I enjoy every experience I've ever had. You might have to.
Yeah.
I've only had good experiences. I mean, I've had bad experiences too, but it was a learning experience. So everything I've done has.
It's been a learning.
Yeah, everything has been in good fun. I don't like. I have nothing to say about any ex. I have no bad things to say about any of them. They all taught me things that I needed to know to become the man that I am today. So it all makes sense. Every girl you've ever been with, they taught you something about the world that you needed to know for your character development to be where you are now, which is great.
Yes, I actually, you know what? I agree.
See,
No, I agree. I think every little thing that has happened makes you who the person that you are at the end of the day when it's all said and done and you cross the finish line. And going back to like we were talking about before, like you go through things and you start to realize, okay, well, I don't like this, I like this, and this happened in this last relationship, and I know I don't want that to ever happen again, or vice versa. And that's really like, and again, like how you mentioned as well, kind of like cherry pick. You know what you don't want. And you're going through the hard times and the hard, not sponsorships, because that's not the word I wanted to use, but the low times.
Yeah.
And you go, okay, well, this I know I don't want. This I don't want to do. This I'm not going to do. I'm never going to do this again. And you start to cut all the excess fat off, if you want to look at it as like a steak. And you go, okay, well, now I know. This is what I want. I'm ready to go in the plastic. I'm ready to go in the frying pan. Let's go. And that's, I mean, it's really, no better way of putting it, really. So, touche.
Right.
I do like steak.
Any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
Do you want to quickly talk about that chick or what?
Oh yeah, we do have to. So, what are your thoughts? I want to know your thoughts on this cop, this female cop who banged like 5 of her coworkers. Because we talked about before we got because we talked about fucking people in the workplace. And this is an example of shit gone wrong. Mike's gonna edit it up we're gonna show you guys the story.
I'll have the whole thing up.
So
on
what's
the
your
screen.
thoughts on this?
About the cop who was banging the coworkers.
Yeah, the meme is everywhere. Everybody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, fuck.
Got him.
No point intended.
Got him.
Okay. You really like the quick synopsis of it?
What do you got?
Okay. So, all right. So, if the chick was single, okay, great. If, let's say, out of the 5 guys, if they were all single, everyone's doing their own thing. Okay, cool. She's fucked this one. He fucked her. Whoever. Okay, great. Now, I'm old-fashioned. Now, unless no one would know, I'm just saying as a conversation, whether it was you or anybody out there. If you're married and you want to go fuck somebody, to the naked eye, that's just plain out cheating.
Oh, yeah.
Would it be fair, right?
Especially if it's like 5 guys in one night. I mean, that's just it's a world record.
But I mean, I got face value. Like, if I'm trying to keep a straight face since you said that.
Can't do that.
But at face value, like if the woman officer was married and she fucked 5 guys, that'd be cheating.
It's times 5.
It's infidelity.
Okay, right.
That
was the word I was looking
for. That's against the church.
for.
That went against the vows. I think so.
Okay, so that would be wrong. But if you and your husband have certain measures behind closed doors, if you have an open relationship or this or that, then I go, okay, well, I can understand that. That's great. So she didn't do anything wrong. She fucked 5 guys. Okay, cool. But now if everyone is by that old way value and everyone's fucking, and let's say out of the 5 guys, 3 of them are married, she's married, everybody is wrong.
Everybody's fucked.
Except for the one guy, even though it was on the job. But technically, I would look at that one guy who's not married, who's single. To me, I don't see him doing anything wrong, other than he shouldn't have never did what he did on the job.
Like moral purposes.
Right.
Yeah. Now the husband is weak because he's trying to get through it now. This girl just banged 5 cops. Look who she be working with, and you're obviously you're not okay with it, and you're accepting that, and you're trying to work past it. Weak male. He's failed the test.
Well,
because he's not okay with it, and he's gonna keep going. He's gonna keep going on with the marriage and try to make it work, but the trust is already broken. A lot.
But do they have kids? Like, I didn't get the whole. Like, I heard about it, but
I don't think they have kids, but I could be wrong. I'm not sure. But whether they did, still, the marriage is now flawed. It's now. I mean, she obviously didn't respect the man anyway, because she wouldn't be. If the guy was not like, we're gonna be monogamous, and she broke that, she ain't feeling him anyway. So that marriage is already done. It's already done for her.
Yeah.
But the husband, he's a simp. Because he doesn't want his girl to be banging all these cops at the job, but she did it, and now he's trying to work through it.
That takes. I will say this. So I know what it's like to be married. That a handful of months, but I don't know how
that's like
long.
Crazy cheating, though. I mean, come on, bro.
It is, but you would hope that everybody fucks up. Everyone makes mistakes.
Like that?
Excuse me. That no.
A pretty big
that
mistake.
I mean, those are
that was
pretty
5
big
mistakes in one night, bro.
I know.
All at once.
But
Next.
I can see I can see the flip side of it, because he probably wants to work it out. And nobody really knows. Well, I'm sure, yes. But I mean,
that shit is worked out. Shit is stretched. Shit is stretched, bro. Stretch the joints. Stretch the joints. It's over.
At face value, I mean, I'm sure he wants to try and work on things. And granted, how some people may look at it and say, well, like, it's fucked. Why try? I truly feel that no one will ever know until they're actually in that position.
Could be.
To say, you know what, like, I really love this person. Okay, you fucked up 5 times, whether it was in the same night or in 2 nights, whatever it was. I still love you. I still want to work that out. That takes a lot from a person, no matter who, on
Probably
whatever side.
It took everything.
So, I mean, at that, I'll leave it at that, because no one never knows. But if you know someone's married and this person is married, and both people are married, and this person, whether it's the husband or wife, and they go, well, I'm that happy, I'm going to go fucking do whatever, and this person has the same outlook, and they're going to do the same thing, and the 2 original people who are going to honestly cheat know what the fuck's going on, and they're both married, and one knows that their situation's really not shitty, and the other one, let's say if their situation is shitty, and they both know what's going on, and they're both going to do it anyway, everybody's fucking wrong. Everybody's fucking wrong, because you got enough fucking common sense, and you know that, okay, don't bring extra baggage in, and don't bring it out. And if you're going to air your dirty laundry out to other people, then me personally, I wouldn't do that in a marriage. That should be behind closed doors. But if you're telling someone who you know that you want to bang the dirty laundry, because you think in your own head and your own morality of it all, it's okay and it's going to happen, and then you're going to be okay with it because you told that person it's in a shitty situation and I'm not happy, and you still do it, but you're still with the same person and nothing changed, you know what the fuck you were doing. You knew that you wanted to taste the sugar bowl before it was accidentally spilled on the fucking counter. So you're wrong.
Yeah,
that's just me.
The whole situation is fucked.
Yeah, legit.
Probably should not be doing that.
Oh no, definitely not. And because like if I was the guy in this situation, right, I'd be gone.
Right.
I would not be anywhere near this woman. I would be either I'd take everything that is mine and I'd go on an adventure far away and just not deal with the I wouldn't say like running away from the problem, but like
right.
But leaving the situation and being like, fuck you, we're done, I'm gone. And that's how I'd be. Because when it comes to cheating, I'm I'm the guy that's like, if you're going to cheat, I have zero respect for you, and I already know that if you've done it to me, you have zero respect for me, and so that's just how it's gonna be. I have been cheated on a lot, and which means that I have not had that these women did not have respect for me, but that also means I didn't have any respect for myself, and so if that's the case, then I need to fix it.
Okay.
And so, but you can't see that when it happens initially. You can't see any of that because you don't think about it that way. You think about that over time. And I've learned that because I've learned about this a lot, especially through that dark time that I was going through, like what I said earlier. I figured that out because I went through a lot of that, and then I left that situation. Then I went through the dark times. When I went through the dark times and I was going through, my stuff and I was fixing myself, I realized to myself, I was like, I really didn't respect myself, and which then let this person not respect me, which then led to all these specific situations happen, and I stayed through that, which then made it worse for me. It made me feel worse, and that's just not a good situation. And once you go through that and you figure that out for yourself, it makes it easier later in life. God, I pray this never happens because this 99.99999% of the percent chance this will never happen ever in existence. But if my wife went and did that, I'd be gone too. Right. Love her to death, love her forever. But if that happened, bitch your ass, I'd be out of here real quick because I don't take that. I don't take that no more. And I mean, she knows that, but she would never do anything like that ever in existence. Right. And I can tell. And if she ever, decided to, say that, here's the 0.0001% chance, here it is, then yeah, I gotta go. Like, that's just how it is. That's how I respect myself enough to not deal with specific situations. I've told her this. I've even told her this a lot. Like, listen, I know you won't, but I need to just air it out. Like, listen, if you ever did anything like this, right, like, I'm gone. And I hope that if I ever did something like this, I'd probably tell you that I'm going to do this and I'm going to leave you first. Because if I don't do that, I deserve to get, like, divorce raped. Like, I deserve it. Like, right.
Yeah. What I would do if I was him.
Uh-oh.
I mean, look.
Oh, here we go.
I'd be a little different. I wouldn't just up and leave. I'd try to deal with this logically, professionally, and what works best for my dick, because motherfucker has needs. So what I would do, so let's say I found out my wife fucked 5. Let's say my wife's a cop. She fucks 5 police officers. That's her coworkers in one night, and I find out. We're gonna sit her down at the table. So here's what we're gonna do. First of all, you're not my wife anymore. You're gonna get downgraded to booty call only. This is the first thing I'm gonna say. It's the first thing. First of all, this marriage is over. Now we can still fuck, but I'm wearing condoms from now on, obviously, because you fucked that. Oh no, now I'm protected. So you're gonna be my booty call from now on. I'm gonna get the divorce papers. I'm gonna get the lawyer. You're going down. We can still fuck if you get horny. Cool, we can still fuck, but you go sleep on the couch. I get the bed because you fucked up, and I'm gonna prove that in court. So because obviously, the divorce is gonna happen. She's gonna get downgraded to booty call. Then I'm gonna go out, see the boys, download Tinder, Bumble, and then go back to my old ways and start fucking again. I'm just gonna say, you know what, cool. If you want to fuck 5, I'm gonna fuck 5 girls. No, 6. I gotta go extra now. Now I gotta go more. Now I gotta fuck 6 girls in one night.
I'm gonna have a harem.
Yeah, then I just start building up the rotation again. I'll go back to my old ways. You want to do that? Cool. That's fine. I'm not gonna scream at you. I'm not gonna call you a bitch. I'm not gonna do any of that. Sit her down. Say in a very calm way, listen, honey, you're now going to be downloaded to booty call. I'm going to get the divorce papers. We're going to be all civil. She can scream all she wants. I'm not going to get angry. Oh, you know what? It's good. Now I'm going to start banging hoes again. And you're going to get divorced. I'm going to win because you cheated on me. There's proof. We can still fuck. Your booty call now. And now I'm going to download Tinder and I'm going to start fucking again. That's what I would do, though.
But what happens if the lawyer tells you that you can't do that?
Oh, that's like most in New Jersey anyway.
I was just to play devil's advocate. What happens if they were like Andrew? They say, Andrew, listen, that's nice. You're going to be pressing charges. You want the divorce papers, but booty call is not going to be able to work.
Okay, until I get divorced,
then
I guess
what?
I'll jerk off for a year. I guess. Fine. I guess I'll bring back. Sure, I guess I'll just watch porn for 1 year until the divorce finalized, and then boom, I just start going crazy on the dating apps, and I just go approaching, go to the bars, But I guess I could. And if she wants, if the ex-wife still wants to fuck, you're still downgraded to booty call, so at least I got that going for me. So maybe once in a while we fuck. Once to be in a mood, even though I still hate you for cheating on me, we can still, a nut is a nut, is what it is. And then when the divorce gets finalized, then I go back into the game and I start wrecking. I gotta start wrecking things.
Okay.
So everybody has their way of handling it, but that's just me.
Listen, monogamy is monogamy, right? If you are in a marriage or in a relationship in itself, and it is specifically for monogamy, where you're not in an open relationship or anything like that, if you cheat, you're fucked. You should never have been in the first place, and you don't respect yourself or the people that you're with. And I have no respect for anyone who cheats, ever. Agreed. I know someone. There is someone that I know who is a female who has done that to someone that I know, and I called them out on it because I don't like that. And
he's not a fan.
I mean, granted, I did it on accident, but I like the intention after I said it was still like I still felt really good for doing it because I just can't. I have zero respect for that. I can't deal with that shit.
He was like, no,
absolutely not. Do not like that shit ever, 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 ever.
Listen, it's a shitty thing.
Any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, man, this was awesome.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming on, bro.
Well, thank you guys. I mean, this is my first time here at the studio.
And it's not going to be your last, sir.
Oh wow! Oh, all right. Well, I'm honored, dude. Seriously, I thank you. I appreciate it, and I thank you. And it was nice. I had a great time. I really did. It's always fun. I enjoy being on podcasts.
Yeah, guys, if you like this, make sure you hit the like button on the video. Make sure you comment your thoughts below on the conversation. Hope you guys enjoyed.
These guys you gotta get the likes. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button for these guys.
That's what I'll be saying. And make sure link in the description is the Cash App if you want to support the channel. Funds go towards the equipment for the channel. You guys can check out the Teespring for the beanie we got here. Here you go.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of shirts, hoodies. I'm gonna get more of these beanies up on that shit, and we'll just get it going.
You guys, so check it out. And with that said, we're gonna see you guys in the next podcast or video.
With you.